like what's been said.
Just trying to breathe.
This is what I mean, right? So it's like we all didn't just decide, oh, do you know what? Look at this creator, let's go bully them. Because none of what we do is bullying. Don't get me wrong. When we're cam-2ing, sometimes you've got to add like an element of funny.
You've got to be funny.
You've got to be, because it's very, very draining. It's it takes a toll on everyone's mental health. I mean, bloody hell, I take breaks more than any of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm always trying to make sure I'm in a good place so I can make sure everyone else is in a good place. But it's not just that as well. It's like the raiding, for example. Just reposted a couple of videos by an account called Weaves. Would love to know your thoughts. Yeah, obviously, we're just we're trying to. I'm currently messaging that Weaves right now and trying to arrange a day and a time when they want to go live with us and jump in a live and talk about it. Completely forgot what I was saying.
That's me sometimes, Heather.
I do. I get so sidetracked. Welcome to ADHD. I think I might just play the lizard sound. Might get me thinking again.
Don't you dare, not the lizard sound. I keep on. Oh, not the lizard sound.
No, Observer, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's fine. I don't know. It's just it's one of them things because of how long we've been doing this for. When we get someone who does that, it can get very frustrating and emotions get very high, especially when we get called bullies. Now, I understand to some people we are seen as bullies, but we're not doing this to bully Orion. We're doing this to protect everyone else. And, you know, the amount of vulnerable people we get who message us, the amount of people we try and support, like, especially when after the events of the other night, he triggered a lot of people and a lot of people came to us seeking support. You know, it's not just, so I think it's like once Orion ends that live, he thinks that's it, it's done. It's like, no, we hold decompressions live. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't have to, but we want to, so that then people can come over, get their frustrations out and calm down and just to make sure that they are safe. We create that safe space after cam-2ing, you know, to ensure that the viewers are safe, because a lot of people were triggered by that event, but that is why we do what we do. You know, it's not, I can't even get the words out, like, no
one pushes Elphaba to these extreme breakdowns. She pushes herself to them. She spouts out a load of bullshit, people call her out for it, and she does the classic narcissist thing of going to another extreme to get people on her side.
Exactly. We've been doing it. We know
he gets himself wound up. He gets himself wound up. He doesn't need anybody else.
You got
I think they will be live Saturday, Sunday latest, because this is what's happened every time. They crash out and then they'll come off for a couple of days and then they'll come back like nothing's happened, singing Defying Gravity. Like, we have watched so much that we know their cycle. They are so predictable. We know what's going to happen. We know when something's going to happen. We know when they're going to crash out. We know when they're going to sing. We know when they're going to come off live, when they're going to come back live. And that's not because we're obsessed. That's because there is a pattern of behaviour there, and anyone can recognise it when you watch them enough.
Yeah, shine a light on them. They're just basically shining a light on this person.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is as well, the reason why we're being called out as bullies is because of how well known Elphaba is. You know, if this was Rachel, because no one's made videos calling us bullies for cam-2ing Rachel or cam-2ing Luna or CLA or any of the other people we cam-2, it's only Elphaba. But that is because, again, Elphaba plays the trans card and acts as if they are a trans person. So therefore, there are sympathisers out there who do sympathise for Elphaba.
Use it as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They I'm not saying they've mastered it, but what they do is they use the mental health card and the trans card to literally weaponize it, and they use manipulation. They use textbook manipulation to be like, I'm going through this. Like that whole the other day was all of it was planned. Literally, they thought
And as someone who has watched Elphaba from the get-go, like 2022, I started watching Elphaba. They were never like this. It wasn't until that hair extension incident where they started getting a load of hate and all the trolls and stuff like that. And that's when he started getting loads of gifts from that then as well. And then that's when the pattern started. That's when the crash outs constantly started. That's when the lying got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But as well, it's people like this who haven't done their research, who haven't seen what we've seen for as long as we've seen. We've had people who've gone to school with Elphaba who have said that Elphaba was the bully, not the bullied. We've had people who have had personal close relationships and friendships with Elphaba who have come out, and every single one of these people have said the same thing over and over and over again. Elphaba is very, very, very manipulative and knows how to get their own way. You know, granted, some of them have admitted to the rug use. You know, they've admitted to the lying about SA, the lying about grape. There's just so much out there, and
classic narcissist.
Yeah, and like disagree with me if you want, but I feel like what we're doing is right, because this is a dangerous person. Dangerous people, dangerous narcissists lie about this stuff to get sympathy, and they have done it on the basis of earning money from this. Don't get me wrong, we can't stand them singing Defying Gravity, but if that's all they did, we'd probably back off. But because of the lying and the scamming and affecting communities, because that's what they have done, they have affected communities.
Manipulating vulnerable and youngsters.
Yeah, exactly.
I had that run-in when she called the fucking police on me. You can see this in her behaviour, but I will just say, on the phone call I had, the officer told me that Elphaba told her that she does these breakdowns on purpose because it gets her the views. She plans it and she does it on purpose.
I have also seen messages between Elphaba and a mod admitting this. This is what I mean. There's things that we cannot show you viewers. There's things we cannot show everybody because it'll put someone in danger. It will trigger you lot, you know, or it's legal and we can't show you until we have permission. There's so many things that we have seen that we cannot show you lot because of this. But that's why we are so passionate about doing this. I wouldn't say we're obsessed. We are passionate because we have seen what Elphaba has done to people.
Yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between being obsessed with somebody and wanting to expose them for who they are.
Exactly. We're trying to show the internet that this is a narcissist, grade A narcissist, manipulator, you know, guilt tripper. There's just so many words, you know, and plus as well, don't forget the list of things they have done. They have lied about so much, but they have admitted to lying about this. And the reason we are going even harder at the minute is because they are now lying about having ADHD and autism. And we had this discussion the other day. A lot of us who do come to and do awareness have ADHD or have autism or have BPD, bipolar. And we know if someone has those conditions to us, because like I said, we have a little weird superpower. And that is why we're constantly saying, you do not have it, you do not have it. But as well, again, like we said, they posted their medical records publicly last year. And on that is a symptom of FASD. And FASD overlaps with autism, but it isn't autism. They just have similar traits.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how we do what we do.
And this is the thing, sort of like, this is where the person turned around and said they're not affecting communities. You don't know that. As someone that is part of multiple communities, you don't know that. You don't know that.
That pissed me off. Like, the amount of people that I've had come to me after an Elphaba live because something's triggered them is insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just sitting there, you know, when he's going on, oh, I'm autistic, I'm definitely autistic. And when they turn around and go, I'm being seen, no proof is ever shown. No proof
exactly. But the thing is, as well, he proves it himself that he wants this validation because he goes, he said it the other night when he had his crash out, I just want to feel validated, you know, like, that's basic narcissism. I want you to believe my story, because if you don't believe my story, then my gimmick's up, my act's over, and, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
But
if you don't believe my story, you're a transphobe.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when it comes to the whole story thing. That's the reason why we're seeing the crash outs happen a lot more, because the mask is slipping hardcore.
Yep.
And they cannot keep up with the lies anymore.
Exactly.
And it's all coming to a head now. And all of it, every single last. This is the reason why they are so doing hardcore when it comes to ADHD and autism, because the trans card is falling apart. So they're coming to ADHD and autism, and that card's falling apart. Literally, all the cards that they're playing, all of it's falling apart. And literally, when you remove everything, even Wicked, when you remove everything,
he gets more desperate.
He is. And the thing is as well, is unlike last year, there was only about, one or two cam to listeners. Now I think about 11 of us now who cover Elphaba. And if that doesn't show how problematic this person is, I don't know what. So many people have decided, you know what, this person needs to be called out. I'm going to go through them. But the thing is, collectively, between the lot of us, we are taking the viewers. And if you think we're bullying because we're taking the viewers, we're taking the viewers because that's where it hits hard. That's where it hits him hard. Because you will see every crash out, every live he does, he is constantly watching those viewers. And when he notices they go down,
exactly,
he will then start kicking off.
If you watch his face, you will see he will keep glancing over at the screen, looking at the viewers.
My brother said the same. He said, I've noticed, every time he throws a tantrum, and he's pretending to cry, all of a sudden he'll look over his phone at the comments and the view count, and then he'll go back to his crying again. It's all an act.
On the topic of awareness as well, I don't think, I've been doing this like a month and a half, or at least the Cam 2 stuff, but I did watch you guys before. I don't think I've seen a single awareness creator when someone's gone in and gone, what have they done, not answer that question.
Exactly.
Or act like a quote-unquote bully towards anyone. I've seen them answer it. I've seen them direct them to people like Fact Freak, is it?
Yeah, Fact Freak.
Fact Freak, there's Inaba, yeah. All of them. I haven't seen anyone get hateful about it. That's what bugs me personally.
Well, that's the thing as well, we welcome Elphaba supporters in our lives.
The funny thing is, they come into the comments giving a load of shit. I will invite them to the box as like just a discussion, calm little discussion. They're the ones to choke up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
I mean as well, we have offered.
I accept them, and when they come in the live chat, I pin them to the top, so people can ask them questions and and let them have their say, and then if they're still not going to listen, that's it. Bye bye.
So far, every time I've invited them to have their say, they've just gone silent.
Yeah.
They will say one or two comments, and then they'll fuck off when I invite them to give their opinion.
That's what I mean as well. Many of us have tried to contact Orion to talk to him about his behaviours and why we're doing what we're doing, but he wants none of it. He wants absolutely none of it. Most of the time when we do boxes, we will leave a box open and we will always offer Elphaba to come over and get in a box and speak their side. We're not going to shout at him. We're not going to scream at him. We just want him to know why we are doing what we're doing. And yes, the outcome is to get him off TikTok, but that's because there are vulnerable young minors who watch him who think that behaviour is okay. And that, again, is why we do what we do, because this behaviour is not okay. And could you imagine, you just think back to when you were 15, 16 years old. You know what I mean? You're very, very impressionable. You are. You. If you look up to a certain creator, you will try and act like that creator, and you'll do anything you can to be liked by that creator. For example, poor Ailey, one of his mods, it has come to our attention that she's practically being groomed by Orion right now, and we are doing everything we can to sort of get her out that grasp, because she is now unfortunately trauma bonded to Orion. She does SH, and Orion has taken that and molded this weird friendship from it and gone, oh yeah. But the thing is as well, Ailey has admitted she gets triggered by Orion. What friend would constantly do triggering things on a live knowing that their friend is going to react to it later?
That's not a friend.
Yeah, he did, yeah, Teddy. But this is why we get so angry, should we say, and emotional when videos like this come out, especially by people who, when you look at their account, they've never posted once about Elphaba, and then all of a sudden they're this massive advocate, as Elphaba likes to say, for them. Because it's like, we have not done this for as long as we have done for one person to sit there and go, you're bullies, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's like, no, come and sit in our live, ask us the questions, and we will answer the questions. Because so many people have come over from Elphaba's side, called us bullies. We've gone, hold on, why do you think we're bullies? We've had a conversation with them, then I've had it a few times. They've messaged me later going, thank you for opening my eyes. And then I've never seen them in Orion's live since.
Yeah. We want to have the discussion. Like, that's it, you know, people, like, they come on and, like, they don't fully realize why people are doing what they're doing. We're not doing it because, you know, oh, we see this person and, oh, look, we're going to pick on this person because they're this, that, and the other. No, we're doing it because they're harming communities. They're doing something that can cause harm to communities and is doing harm to communities and constantly does it all the time. And this is where ease manipulation works. And that's the problem. That's the issue. Ease manipulation is S-baiting, is using the different cards, can and does work on some people. And this is where people do need to actually look and go, why are so many cam tours? Why are so many people doing videos? Actually listen and actually look at why people are doing what they're doing. They're not doing it because, oh, we're bored. No, we're doing it because there are actually legitimate reasons.
No.
Comment earlier, it's all mental, so we can't exactly sit here, give one picture and go, there's your proof. It's a whole, like, sort of folder, I guess, of videos that show you the behaviour.
We would have to organise a live and go through at least 3-4 years worth of evidence, and it is a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying some of the earlier stuff isn't relevant, but compared to what he has done now, that is like nothing compared to now.
It's progressively got worse over the years.
It has. It's got 10 times worse progressively, 100%.
And that's what happens, you know. But the attention seeking was minimal at the beginning. If you go back and look, the attention seeking was minimal, and it's progressively got worse because when you look at something, the attention seeking was, you know, they got the attention at the beginning, and they upped the stakes each and every single time to get more viewers, because the viewers back then maybe saw, you know, backed away. To get more viewers in, they up the stakes each and every single time because they want the attention more. And attention.
He's about to up the stakes again, Josh. He's about to up the stakes again.
There you go, Emma. Sorry, Emma, sorry to interrupt you. So, you know, when I was telling you about Manchester the other day, and Orion did something to Tony, observers just said what it is. He threatened to, should we say, use a sharp utensil on Tony.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why. So do you know when I was saying how this poster situation is completely the same as Manchester? That's what it was. So obviously people, when he said that about Tony, people were then going over to him and saying this, and that. And then he did the exact same thing he did this time round.
But he just blamed Tony for the whole ordeal when it was actually him. This is the problem that we've got with EOD. He will blame everyone but himself. And if people aren't willing to wake up, if people aren't willing to go over to the Observer's YouTube, where there are plenty of videos along with Fat Freak on EOD, then what more can we do? If you want to support the website, you can get in line with them.
I understand they're long videos, but you need to watch them before coming online and posting that shit.
That's what I mean as well. Like, the people who do this sort of thing, they haven't seen these videos. They probably pop into a Cantu LED and pop out. They haven't seen everything that we've seen, you know. And it's very, very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating, because the thing is, for them, it's make a video, post a video, deal with the comments, then it's over. For us, it's having to constantly talk about it, you know, to put out the flames. It's a lot.
He'll continue Gavin live because he thinks that, I'm sorry to say it, he lives in a dream world. He thinks that there's a knight in shining armour that's going to gift him a TikTok universe or whatever it is
He
that he
thinks
wants.
that someone from the West End is going to come along and go, oh my God, you're what we're looking
Literally,
for.
that's
Get your
what
ass
it
on
is.
it."
Literally, that's what it is. He thinks that's why he does it. He thinks someone from the West End is going to come across his live and be like, oh my God, you're amazing, audition for this role. But it's never going to happen, because his digital footprint is so big. So many people know about him: nurses, doctors, police officers, producers, actors, actresses. Like, if you sometimes, like, I'll be like scrolling on lives and you'll hear like pretty well-known people talking about Elphaba as well. It's like, there's quite a few creators on here who refuse to even go on to that
Like, look
subject
at
or do anything.
previous brands that he's been involved with. Their name has been ruined because Elphaba has been involved with them.
He is too controversial. Let's not forget as well, back to the threatening thing that he did with Tony. He's threatened Irish, he's threatened Riley, he's threatened a lot of us. You know, if that doesn't as well prove that he is a violent person, you know, and he
tried
needs to be
doxing me
off
as
his
well.
ass.
Granted, he failed, but the principle is he still tried to find out where I live and share it on the internet.
Exactly. He kicks
I mean,
and
like,
screams
if
when
you're
he gets
into
stopped.
makeup
He
and
kicks
stuff like that, why would you support someone who's literally been banned from Boots? He's been banned from Boots.
Exactly. He's been banned from multiple bars in Manchester and Liverpool and now London. You know, and I don't think it's because he was taking other people's drinks. We've all seen the Mackey's incident. We've all seen how he gets towards people. He is a violent person. It's not just because he scams and he does this, he does that. He threatens people. He's violent towards
He's so volatile as well. He will switch so quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as something doesn't go his way, that's it. He's all hell breaks loose.
Let's turn off, turn on.
Well, that's typical narcissism. Do you know what I mean? It's typical narcissism. They're not seen as the victim. They're not seen as, you know, the person who needs saving, the damsel, should we say. So they kick off. They kick off because they want that attention. And if they're not getting it by playing the woe is me act, the pity party for one, then they're going to go the complete opposite way and kick off.
Yeah.
It's happened every time you watch in a live. Like that one again, to go back to it, he started off saying, oh, I've got all this, I've got this news, and then was like, this person's this, and we were all going, no, they're not, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's not like everyone was bullying them. Everyone was calling it out like, you're wrong. You've
That's
got it
what
wrong.
I mean. Like, there's literally, there is no bullying, you know. If we think you're a bad singer, you're a bad singer. There's a difference between bullying and an opinion.
Yeah.
He's even lost it with the comments switched off. He's like got himself so worked up and like losing his temper with himself.
The comments are off. He's not watching any Cam 2s and he will still get pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, look how many times he turned the comments on and off, right? He turned them off to do his little thing, and then he turned them on because he wanted people to be like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you safe? Da, da, da. But no one said that. No one said that. Everyone turned around and said, That's a lie. They could two completely different people. You're lying. You've not done your research properly. And then what happened? He attempted to cry because no one was believing him. He then turned the comments off again, then went on the same rant again, but progressively got angrier and angrier the more people were not believing him. But that is, again, because he has not fact-checked. He's not properly done the research. He's just been sent screenshots and gone, oh, this is this. And the thing is as well, what he's done is actually a crime. It's malcoms and inciting violence.
Yep.
What he's done, he can actually get in trouble for. And as much as he likes to say, oh, I've rang the police on you, Cantuers, you're all in trouble, none of us have had a knock at the door. None of us, except from Riley, have had a phone call regarding the situation. And when we
Even
do,
then, I wasn't even told.
and the amount of times as well he's claimed he's gone to the police, they will say the same thing over and over and over again. It is civil. We can't do anything about it. Get off TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
amount of phone calls I made after that, I was told by so many legal people, it's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not illegal to
What we
country.
do is very
No, it's not.
illegal.
It's also not illegal to raise awareness, Orion.
No, it's not.
And I'm sorry, we protect Orion more than he protects himself.
No, exactly. That's another point I want to make as well. Like, as much as we do the awareness and we do the campaigns and stuff, we are still protecting Orion. You know, like, his address gets leaked, his number gets leaked. We are straight away in each other's live. Let me block this number. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, as soon as one of us find out, we will go into each other's lives. Let me block this number. Let me block this address.
When people are in his live commenting KYS or do it, we are telling people don't engage with that. Don't say that. That is wrong. You can't say those things. You know what I mean? Like, we would never push Orion to do those sort of things. We never tell him to do those sort of things because as much as we don't like him, we don't want him to do that. We don't want him to hurt himself. We just want him off the app because it's for his own good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, people can say what they want, but when Orion first threatened his life, it was our side that literally rang the emergency services.
Yeah.
We got the emergency services to him.
Hi, Jackie.
So we're that bad people. We are so bad over here. We really are.
We're so evil.
Yeah.
Bullies, aren't we?
Bone, ain't we? All evil to the bone.
Can I just say something? Hi, everybody, by the way. Can I just say something? There's one thing worse than Orion off the app. The problem is that if he's off the app, we do not know what he's getting up to.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's all good saying get him off the app, get him off the app. If he's off the app, he's still going to be scamming and he'll still be doing bad things.
Mm.
At least when he's on the app, he can be watched by people.
Yeah. I think the reason we want him off the app, though, is because of the scamming and because of all the lies and because of the amount of people who do get affected by him. It's like, it feels like that's like a solution, if that makes sense. And if he does come off and decides to go over to Instagram or Facebook or favorited, we will be over there and we will make sure he comes off every social media. And by that point, so many people will know who he is, what he's done, you know, etc., that even in real life, people will know to stay away.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if he vanishes, he's still going to be doing something. And that's pretty scary.
It is scary because the next thing we'll see is him in the papers. That's what I'm telling you. He'll be in the papers and on the news.
Yeah. I can guarantee you, before he reaches 30, he'll either be unalive or he'll be in prison.
Definitely. Unemployable as well. Because a lot of companies nowadays as well do Google searches. And have you tried Googling Elphaba? and all that comes up is our faces, our awareness videos, and then all the crash outs, everything. That's on Google, not just TikTok. Like it's all on Google. It all gets directed to Reddit pages, TikTok pages. Like even if you just put in Elphaba, Wicked doesn't even come up. Elphaba or Ryan Doherty comes up.
They really have themselves, and the thing is that they're 21, and like I've never known someone literally they've got at the age of 21 they've literally ruined every opportunity that they are ever gonna have. Like they keep on saying that, oh, my dream is to be on the West End. That's never gonna happen now. Never gonna happen.
That's being horrible. That's just realistic.
Yeah, it's not being horrible. They need to have a bit of realism and be like, well, the West End are going to look at my digital footprint, look at what I've done. The fact that they keep on mocking many different communities, they keep on doing it. It's not that the way he keeps on going, I did that in the past, I did rugs in the past, I did this in the past, I did that in the past. Are we talking the past couple of hours, the past couple of minutes, or the past couple of years? Like, it's not in the past, you're doing it now.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, look at Luna. He was in a musical called Luna, and he did one show and then they sacked him because he never turned up to rehearsals. He was always late. He tried to control the whole narrative. He was very bossy and demanding. And the cast members of Luna have come into lives and said this when that happened. So if he was to even go and audition, they'd then go to the producers and the directors of Luna and ask for a character reference, just like getting a job, and they'd turn around and say, oh no, they were late to this, they did this, and it'd be straight up no.
I mean, it's very foolish for anyone to come for any of us in regards to EOD when we've got footage that people haven't seen. And you're not going to see it. We can't let you see it. We can't let you see certain messages. We can't let you, because it is very, very bad. Do you know what I mean? It's dangerous. We know what our limitations are. Do you know what I mean? And we know how far we can take it and how far we can't. Why isn't anyone saying to Elphaba, you are taking this too far?
Because he screams at everybody that talks sense to him.
Exactly. Or threatens them.
That also,
or calls them a transphobe.
That recording of E when he was the Roblox incident, the second one, Heather.
Yeah.
I think we've still got that. I mean, that was very, very dodgy, and that took hours and hours of literally...
I tell you what, I was sat in a queue for 3 hours waiting to get in that server.
Yeah. It was horrific. He sets up servers privately on a children's game. What does that tell you? You need to hard drive check, and that's what it tells you.
Now, we understand as well that, there are adults out there who play Roblox, stuff like that. But us adults don't actively go out and add minors as friends and talk to minors in the chat. I have Roblox, and the only minors I have on Roblox are my sons. And
there are screenshots you will see on TikTok of Elphaba and Movie Star Planet adding and talking to minors.
Yeah.
And there's
I got my brother to make an account. I got my brother to make an account at the time and follow Elphaba around. Just to catch him talking to these kids.
Ask a question because I'm trying to catch up with a lot of stuff. Did he call an ambulance the other night?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What for?
SH. So the best way I can say it without outing who it is, they'd messaged one of their mods and they'd said, I'm in the ambulance now. I did it with the blunt object. I managed to cut deep. They're bandaging my arm up. He got a bed, got his bloods taken, and then was discharged, I want to say roughly a few hours later, then made a cameo.
Yeah.
That really annoys me because last year, as everybody might be aware, last year I was really ill. I had sepsis. And I called an ambulance at 8 o'clock in the morning for myself. And I waited all day. And at 7 o'clock at night, no ambulance. And in the end, they called me a taxi to get to the hospital.
Yeah, they've done that to me before.
And, you know, I'd waited 11 hours for an ambulance. But this fucker plays around with a butter knife and gets an ambulance.
How do we know? I've seen the messages myself, but I cannot share them. Otherwise, this will put the person in a tight situation, should we say, and we need them to be as friendly as possible so we can get everything. And all I'm going to say is these messages I've seen have knocked me sick, and you can see in these messages the manipulation. He admitted to only buying blunt objects so he doesn't hurt himself with them. He has admitted a few times to purposely crashing out on live because he knows that will get the viewers in. Yeah, I don't even want to say it's a hard one, but just reading those messages between this person, you sit there and you go, wow. So it's all an act, basically. This is why, as well, is we always say, do not believe him when he does this stuff because he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I just want to comment on Sassy Susie. Sassy Susie says, I wasn't aware antibiotics were prescribed for ADHD. Now, what he turned around and said was, they had the antibiotics and they weren't cleaning their teeth because of ADHD, which again, they're mocking ADHD. They're just, they were saying that, yeah, it was a whole thing, but yeah, that's the reason why. But like, it's just, it drives me nuts because they're using autism and ADHD to excuse their bad behaviors when people question them about their lack of hygiene and their lack of this and their lack of that.
That's why they want it so bad. That is why they want this diagnosis so bad, because they want
an excuse.
Yes, they want an excuse. They want to blame their behaviour on their ADHD, on their autism. But this is where I ask you this. Have you ever seen me blame my ADHD for my actions? Have you ever seen Irish blame her bipolar for hers? Any of us in this box who have ADHD, autism, or any of these conditions, have you ever seen any of us blame our conditions for our behaviour? Because I, for one, will always hold my hands up if I am wrong. I, for one, will always hold my hands up and admit that it was me. I will never ever blame my condition, but Orion wants to blame his ADHD, and again, I have seen proof of this as well. He's turned around in a message and said, oh, it's my ADHD, that's why I do impulsive things.
No, absolutely not.
This is why that video infuriates me, because it's just like, they're not harming communities. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. By bringing up stigmas. By bringing up stigmas and saying my bad behaviours are because of ADHD and autism. How do you think that looks?
Just keep in mind that Elphaba can be someone's first interaction.
Yes.
With someone.
Exactly.
They can sit there and go, oh.
I think that's what's happened with this weeb. I think they just come across Elphaba through a Cam 2 and then gone over to Elphaba, and they haven't seen the full extent, the full story. I think that's what's happened, because that's happened to a lot of people. A lot of people have come across a Cam 2 and gone, ooh, who's this person that they're Cam 2ing? Gone over to that live and then watched that live and got an impression through that. But I want to touch on something as well that this Weaves has said. This Weaves has said that if he was to unalive, it would be our fault. It would not be our fault, because we do not push him towards this. We try to make sure he does not go towards this. And like I've said again, through the messages I've seen, he is not that mentally ill he makes out to be. He's doing it because he knows we're going to get backlash. We're going to get videos like this made. He knows that doing this sort of stuff is going to get this shit brought to our doorstep rather than his. But unlucky for him, our eyes are wide open and we can see what he's doing.
I know for a fact, well, I don't know for a fact, but I'm speculating here, that if he does start going down the transition route, and he starts taking medication or whatever, he will change his mind and detransition. And then he'll be blaming everybody on TikTok, saying, you bullied me into transitioning.
They've already
Exactly.
started that. They've already started doing it. They've already started saying, people are forcing me to make a decision to transition. They've already started saying that in live streams.
The thing is, though, we're not forcing him. We're not forcing him. The reason why we ask about it so much and we bring it up so much is because he told people that all his gifts were going towards gender GP to get his hormones, to get his surgeries. He literally said that in CLA's live. I can get my vocal surgery now after getting, 3-4 universes?
Exactly.
He has had more than enough money.
What did he do the next day? He went out, bought Gucci shoes, Gucci perfume, went into Louis Vuitton, and he live streamed the whole thing. This is what I mean as well. This is where he fucks up. Is because he live streams it, and this is why we need to come too. Because
He's not clever enough to hide it.
exactly.
He's had enough money to pay for his transition 10 times over.
Literally.
House.
Yeah, and that's why we press him on it, because it's like, you've had the money. You can't sit there and be like, oh, I can't afford it. When you have had the money to transition yourself and to donate that money to 10 other people to transition as well. But you didn't. What you did was you saw the money and you got takeaway after takeaway, hotels, Airbnbs, you got designer gear. I mean, we only found out the other day that lettuce dress was 180 quid. 180 quid for that dress? Nah, no way. Looks like it should be in Primark for 18 quid.
And where is it now? Where is it now? It's probably
Exactly.
stuffed
Where is it? Half the stuff he bought is just left in the places he's lived. He doesn't bring it all with him. The only thing he's kept with him the entire time is those bloody hats.
Let's remember the confrontation in the Barbican as well with the two ladies. Let's remember how he treated the people in the Barbican that literally give him a free roof, bought some things. Let's remember how he treated them. Let's remember that.
And as well, Jackie, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example. There are trans people out there who have had to get second jobs, who have had to save every single penny they could get. They've had to live off next to nothing just to transition to be them true selves. And this is why we say that he is a mockery to the trans community, because he's had that money that Jackie, yourself, Natasha, House of Deville would have done anything for. Absolutely anything for, but they worked their asses off to get to where they are and be the people they are and be their true self. He is just sat there raking it in, laughing because his scam worked. And now that there's so many of us that it's not working, I mean, he barely gets a tenner on live anymore. That is job well done. That is job well done. That is proof that what we are doing is working. You know, it is taking us some time, I will admit, but you know,
we're getting there.
We're getting there. It's working. He's not getting the amount of gifts he used to get. You know, people are now seeing his true colours, which means, you know, we're doing our job and we're doing it freaking well. So to sit there and call us a bully, it's a bit, no, it's not right, because
I can't even tell you how many times I've been called a bully.
exactly.
You know, picking on poor Orion.
Poor Orion, no.
Poor Orion. It's calling them out for their bullshit, what they do on live streams. That's what it is.
Well said, Joshy. And one more thing. Sorry, you go, whoever's talking there.
Go on, sorry, Irish.
No. I'm just saying, well said, Joshua.
If you want to continue to support him, you be a fool. But don't you dare come over to this side of the wall and complain about it, because we're not listening.
Exactly.
We are not the one anymore.
Exactly. It's just like you can support it, go for it, but when the eventual thing happens and you get burned, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Be like
friends as well. Previous friends of Orion have been hurt by him, and they've realised, oh shit, Orion's fucking evil.
Exactly, because you've got to think as well, when you are being manipulated, you don't realise you are being manipulated till the very end, till the rose-tinted glasses crack, which is why when these friends do come out and tell their stories and people are like, oh, you weren't saying that a week ago, it's because it takes time for people to realise what's going on.
Even after that, once they've realised, it's the processing of everything they've just been thrown through.
Exactly, like we said, like with the Ailey situation, and I want to say Juan as well, they were manipulated and they are basically being groomed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't even know this person. I don't even know who you are. And I know my video might have seemed a bit stern with you. But I literally was in a DV relationship where I was told what to do, where to go, who to talk to, stuff like that. And I'm very sorry to tell you, no one in this room tells anyone what to do.
No.
Exactly.
We're all too manipulated for that.
We support each other.
We do. And I think as well, I think he's jealous of that. I think that's why he's coming down on us a lot harder as well, is because he's jealous that we are not fighting, we're not arguing, we're not trying to be the best cam tour.
Yeah,
we're all sat here.
We're being
on
grown
the
up.
same level.
Exactly, we're all on the same level, we're being grown ups, we're all supporting each other, we're all there for each other, we're all friends. I'd like to say we are friends, and
Yeah.
he hates that. Facts, exactly. Facts in the chat. He hates that we are friends and we're not arguing and bickering between ourselves and we are all banding together to take him down. And I know that sounds a bit extreme, but that, if you were in a small village, or a small town, and you found out that a PDF had moved in next door, all hell would break loose in that town. I know, because I came from a town like that, So
yeah. The thing is now, is this person, this lady that's done this, I am very interested to know if Orion has contacted them. Because we all know he's got little aces up his sleeve. We've just been waiting on them.
I mean, we all heard the lies he said at Trans Pride in London.
Yeah.
Socially transitioning for 5 years. Like, you didn't mention the fact that you had the money to transition and you never did. That's the only time we talk about Orion being trans. That is the only time. The rest of the time it's calling out his behaviour, his threats, the way he acts, the way he triggers people, because that is what we're more concerned about.
And as I said, I never see my video seems harsh. But the problem that I've got is that the people in this room have been under attack from Elphaba since they started their awareness and camp touring.
Yep.
They have been accused of horrendous things. And Jenny's quite recent. We have been dragged through the mud. And I will always defend anybody on the awareness side. I don't care if it's about Elphaba but if they are on this side of the fence, they will always be defended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if people find it offensive. If you find it offensive,
and
best advice, scroll on. Do you know what I mean? But I'm so fed up with certain people creeping in and going, yous are all bullies, and I'm sorry to say it, and I'll keep saying it, yous are clout chasers. That's what yous are.
Facts in the chat.
Facts. Green flag.
Facts, yes.
The part that I'm looking forward to is, as he's getting older, he's no longer going to be associated with the younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
But as he gets older, the older audience knows what he's like. So he's actually running out of people now.
Yep.
Exactly. A lot of people who used to watch him are now adults, probably starting families. They've got jobs, they've got houses, they're living on their own. Then they're probably looking back and going, "Wow, can't believe I did that." Like I did. Do you know what I mean? Like, back in 2022, I felt sorry for him, and we were just coming out of lockdown. I was at home with 2 babies, You know, so mothering instincts were like well and truly there at the time, hormones everywhere, and I felt sorry for him at one point. But it wasn't until I watched more, and then this was when the awareness live started coming around and the awareness pages, that I watched them and my eyes were opened.
He's been a fool of a lot of
The
people.
baby's awake. Much love to you all, and I'll speak to you all soon, okay?
That's right.
Speak to you soon.
Yeah, he's made a fool of an awful lot of people.
I have some big news
Oh no, what's happened?
and some happy news as well.
Hello.
Would you like some happy news, people? I know this is really dumb.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law is on the track for transition.
Yay!
He's getting the shots. My partner just told me, and I was like, "Oh, we were talking
that's
about
awesome.
talking about transitioning to do with E," and he just jogged the memory of him today, and I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." I was like, "Oh, some good news." Oh,
That's so good. Oh, I'm so happy for him.
me too. I was like, "Oh, he's been trying so hard, like, because obviously everyone knows the fight and how hard it is." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that's some good news." Yeah. It wasn't really working with the gel, so he's getting the shots.
Oh, exactly what you said as well, Jay. He's called trans people transphobic as well. For disagreeing with him. Like, is it Emery his name is or something?
Yeah.
He's on a podcast and he spoke about it and he got called a transphobe. Toby J, don't get me started on Toby J. You know, the amount of times he goes for Toby J. It's like, it makes you think, innit? If genuine trans people are sat there and calling you out, maybe you should listen. Because if that was me personally, and if I was being called out by genuine trans people, I'd be sat there going, oh, well, maybe I should just stop then.
Yeah,
I've always been surprised he's never come for me.
It's wild, isn't it? They've never really come for me either. They did it the once and it failed miserably.
Oh yeah, he said, "How dare you have the trans flag in your name? You're not even an ally." And I'm not gonna lie, Joshy, I sat there and I laughed. I cried. I was like, "Excuse me."
Made me laugh. I was like, "Oh my god." Oh yeah, that was amusing. But yeah,
That was funny.
It was.
Yeah, it made me laugh.
It's okay. You're waiting to get exposed or what? What's happened?
So basically, someone has made a video calling us bullies, saying that
yeah.
we're
And I'm not
weebs,
trans.
and we're just talking on that, and we're just basically explaining for those in the back who couldn't hear us the first 100 times we've done it, you know, why we do what we do.
Yeah, but no, Panda, I'm not trans. No, I'm gay though. If that helps.
You're just a bit eccentric, Josh.
Yeah, just a bit eccentric.
Bella, to answer your question, so Bella's asked a question, and I think we should all answer this one at a time. Do you reckon you would all forgive if he turned around and sorted himself out? Not sure I would. Now, I want him to admit that he's not trans. I want him to admit that it's just an act. It's just a character. He's trying to be a character. I want him to admit that, but I would not forgive him for the scamming, for the guilt tripping, the manipulating. I would not forgive him one bit. No, not at all.
I had a very long talk with Riley about this, and I don't think it's necessarily the ability to forgive, but I think there is always a road to redemption. If she or he or whatever pronouns you want to use came out tomorrow and said, okay, I've behaved like an absolute dickhead. From here on out, no more, or even if they took time off a year or two, or came on and just said, I'm broken in London, I need a job, I need to transition, here's my journey. And outlined, okay, here's the job applications I'm working on. Here's what I'm doing to try and be an adult, Today we're doing this. Today we're doing this. And actually created vlogs of that and showed an actual series of steps that they're taking to become a functional adult in society.
Become a better person.
Yes, there is a road to a little bit of redemption. Should there still be accountability for the horrible things they've done? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I'm not saying that there isn't a road to redemption. The only thing is, that takes effort, and Elphaba hates one thing above all others, and that is putting actual effort into anything.
Yeah, you can't even versus her.
I've always said that if Elphaba was to come online and admit to everything that they've done and actually put an effort into their life and sort themselves out, I would never forgive them, but I feel like there might be a little bit of respect just for the fact that they're putting the effort in. But I would absolutely never forgive them.
We'd back off. We'd back off, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if forgiveness is the word I'd use either, because a lot of stuff that he's done, he will never ever be able to wipe clean, right? He's always going to be known for the things that he's done. And it's been 5 years. I feel like any apology or accountability now would come with strings attached. Yeah, I just feel like if he was to suddenly come on live, apologize for everything he's done, admit to maybe being a cosplayer, a drag queen, you know, maybe they were confused, whatever the situation might be with that. There's too much been done. There's way too much damage to the point, I think, genuinely, I don't even think an apology would cut it. I think what they would need to do is just disappear, rebrand, change, go through their transition if that's what they want to do, right? That's up to them. And then come back and say, you know what, who I was at 17, 18 when I started this app is not me. Right now, what they're doing with I'm 21, I don't know any better. You're 21, you can be charged as an adult in the UK. Try it.
At 21, I had my first child and I had my own property, paying bills, and previously before that I was working, so he can't even use that excuse, I'm 21, I've barely done this, barely done that. There's a lot of people out there who are 21 who have kids, a house, a stable job, have already done so much with their lives. Like this, he cannot use his age as an excuse.
There's people at 18 joining the army and fighting in wars at 21.
Exactly.
There is, yeah. I can't see this. The screen is black for me, by the way, so I can't see like who's talking or anything like that. My TikTok's playing up rotten today. But to answer the question, I feel that no one would forgive them, but I think because they turned around and said it before, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then they've said I'm sorry for X, Y, and Z, but then displayed the exact same behavior a few hours later. So it's just like the apology, even if they did apologize, what's that saying? People can say sorry multiple times, but if there's no actual change, then the sorry is meaningless. And so even if they came out and said that they were sorry, no one believes it anymore. No one actually believes it anymore. So I do think that they need to take some time off social media and actually make the changes that they say they're going to do. And therefore, even then, people aren't going to forgive and forget. They're just going to be like, okay, so you changed, but actions speak louder than words. So show us it then. Show us. Don't say it. Show us it. But they never do. It's always the same. It's always, it's my ADHD. It's my autism. I'm depressed. I'm this. I'm that. It's always everybody else's problem. It's always everybody else's fault. And it's like, no, it's you. You are the problem.
Every time he apologizes, there's a little word he sneaks in every time. And that little word is but.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Every time. I did this, I did that. I'm so sorry.
But it's the campus.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry
it's
you
everybody
feel like
pushing
that.
me. But I'm 21. It's a long list of like horrible little excuses where he's not taking the accountability. He'll shove the accountability into his chat box, into the cam tours, into his age, into I've been doing substances. That's what made me do it. Like the last time we had an incident like this, I'm sure everybody here actually was here for it. With the to the neck incident, there was no apology for weeks. And I'm not listen, I don't tell people what to do, but I am telling everybody here now, do not let him forget, because he will come back on live and act like nothing happened.
I agree.
I do not agree with him.
What I've done when he comes back live is people need to, like, when he posted that video about his neighbour, we forced him to apologise for that. And like you said, Japs, about the previous incident with the utensil to the neck, we forced it. Yeah, there was no apology for weeks. What we need to do is when he comes back live, we need to force that apology. We need him. He is going to say, I'm sorry, but, and we know he's not going to mean it, but we need him to realise what he has done and what he's done to people and his viewers and his so-called followers that he loves.
And you can see it wherever you go. It's going to be the same thing. It'll be the same cycle. We're just the cycle climax, right? What happened the other day was the cycle, like that was the explosive ending. The amount of times everybody has said, and everybody here has said, this is gearing up for something bad. Something is going to happen. There it is. It happened. We're at the start of the cycle now. We're back at the start of the cycle where it's going to be, I gotta sing, and I'm using my girl voice, and I'm being very, very little and small, and I tell you, in 4 weeks we're going to be sitting here going, he's gearing up for something again.
Not even 4 weeks. I'll give it a week.
I think
The cycles are so short. They're so short now.
I was just about to say the same thing.
I think it's going to get worse. I really, really do.
You know what I think it's going to get worse? He's going to have a collaboration with Chelsea We Art. Watch. Chelsea's moving back to London.
Someone said that to me
Whenever these situations happen, the thing is as well, right? This makes me laugh so much, and I do proper chuckle at this. Is CLA has been audibly transphobic, has been like proper transphobic to Orion. You know, whereas the only thing that Orion can say that we're being transphobic is some of us use he, him pronouns and his, should we say, his unalive name, yeah? But Chelsea has turned that round and ranted and raved and said this and that, said, I had a man in my house, I felt unsafe, blah, blah, blah. But he still goes back to CLA, but we're the villains.
But look
Yeah,
at
addressed that in my life before.
the last 2 weeks, those two have been bigging each other up. Orion has said, I forgive Chelsea. She's from a different generation, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't mean to sound rude, but there's plenty of trans people that are Chelsea's age. There's no excuse for it, right? You're on the internet all the time. You know damn well what you can and can't say. Come on now. And Chelsea's been doing the same thing. Elphaba's 21. She shouldn't be being treated like that. And now all of a sudden Chelsea's moving back to London. So
I addressed that in the live before. He said, Chelsea's just a misunderstood. Like,
What gets me about that is when it comes to CLA, CLA is just a different generation. However, he will use the fact that we are older against us. You're just middle-aged people. But when it comes to CLA, CLA is just from a different generation.
The thing is
Makes sense.
a lot of us aren't that much older than Orion. Like, I'm 26, you know,
I'm actually younger than Elphaba.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. Like, yes, there's a big, massive age range between us all, but a lot of us are roughly the same age as him. Like, we've gone through the same life experiences as him. You know what I mean? So it does make me chuckle when he's like, middle-aged women, and I'm like, I'm 26. How dare you call me middle-aged?
But like, when it comes to, shall I tell you exactly why he calls all of us transphobic but not CLA? Because when it comes to CLA being obviously transphobic and CLA does all that, right? The reason why he does it to us is because we call out E's bad behaviour and we do shine a mirror to E, and E can't handle that, whereas CLA doesn't do that. CLA does do the transphobic things. So CLA won't call out E's bad behaviors, whereas we will. So we hold the mirror up to E, and E doesn't like the mirror. That's the reason why.
CLA encourages it.
Yeah, whereas I should say CLA encourages E's bad behavior, and CLA will just be like, "Oh, I forgive you, E. Come on over." CLA will sugarcoat everything, whereas we won't, and that's the reason why we are the transphobic ones and CLA isn't, because we'll be like, "No, here's the mirror, E." That's the reason why.
He doesn't like that we call him out. It's plain and obvious, that one. He doesn't like that he says a lie and hopes none of us caught it, when in actual fact 5 of us were cam 2ing at the exact same time and we all caught it, plus all our viewers caught it, and he doesn't like that. That's why
he can't control the narrative in our lives.
Exactly, he can't control the narrative. That's why he hates us cam 2ing him. That's why he always says that we're the problem and it's our fault. But what it is we're catching him out on his lies and calling him out on them straight away. And yeah, he hates it. He absolutely hates it. Like you said, Riley, you know, he can't twist the narrative in our lives. He can't make people believe in our lives, because we're sat there going, "That's not true. Liar, liar. You lie,
liar."
It's not that these these camters, the creators that we cam to, don't. It's baffling to me, because they go, "Oh, they're cam to me, this and that." You wouldn't have a problem. We don't cam to just anybody. We're not sitting there going, "Oh, Heather's live. Let me cam to Heather." Why? Heather's not problematic. Nobody else is this problematic. Ask yourself why you're being cam to'd.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so silly. It's laughable.
I mean, you can cam to me if you want. You just sit there laughing your heads off.
I mean,
I'm going to cam to you from now on.
I will occasionally pop into
I was only joking.
when I'm live. But look at this wrongin'.
I've occasionally when I'm
playing the lizard sound, don't.
Right underneath for some reason, and honestly, I'm the worst. I can't wait for that to end up on the For You page, by the way.
All I'm going to do
I've scrolled down and been like, "Oh, look at that."
Seriously, if he's ever come to me now, this is all you're going to hear.
I need an audio on I need a soundboard with that.
There's one that's been created. Somebody created it. It's called Lizard Dot something. Like somebody created it. I think I posted it somewhere.
Oh my god, I'll send it to you, Heather.
Yes, please.
Thank you for the gifts.
Thank
We
you.
were saying before this got serious, what we're going to do is the next time Orion is live, we are going to raid his live with Lizard.
Lizard.
And we're all going to do it. We're going to get all our chats to do it, because we'll all be posting anyway. And we'll have all the lizards. It's going to get banned straight away, but I'll just message Violet and like, unblock the word, please.
I'll let you know. For your own lives, if you set up a goodie bag, the whole chat will fill with whatever you set it as.
Oh my god.
I've used it before, it's fucking amazing.
We'll have all the
Is
lizards.
this in America? I can't use it.
All the lizards. I'll have
It doesn't exist, and I can't collect them. I can make people pay to vote in a poll though, which is weird.
Yeah, we're all gonna raid his live with Lizard. It'll be so funny. Because the funny thing about it is he's gonna take it as an attack on his like appearance, and we're gonna be sat there crying with laughter. Because
like a lizard.
Well, he's got a big nose. He likes
it's like
being
people are
green.
calling me a lizard, and it's like, dude, seriously, you can't be on social media this much and not know what this lizard is.
Well, I didn't know what it was until you decided to put it somewhere, Heather, and now my FYP is full with it, and I'm like,
You're all welcome for that.
My FYP has been filled with it for the past week. I love it. It scratches my brain.
I like
God, it's so good. I keep pissing people off with it. I just send constantly lizard videos like Rebecca FYP. She's like, Heather, seriously, I'm gonna block you in a minute, and I just go lizard.
I'll tell you what, the other day, JJ made a TikTok and made a really good point about his failure of dating. And she basically said that his images are so filtered
Yeah.
that when he turns up on a date, the poor date must bloody shit themselves.
It's catfishing to the extreme.
And then he cries, "Oh, they only wanted sex."
Well, no, he's admitted though, hasn't he? He's admitted to going on to the Yellow app. Is it Yellow app? I don't know. Onto Grindr, purely to meet up for a bag. You know, that's
It's on his bio.
Oh, don't.
It was on his bio till I called it out, then he deleted it.
No way.
Blow for a bag.
Yeah, literally. That's why he gets so irate when we talk about
Blow for a bag.
because that's what it is. He's like, all these fake accounts, and it's like, no, stop lying. They're all you.
Why can't they never just admit it? Literally, if you just want to go out there and have that, like, just admit it. But it's all the fake accounts. But I think the reason why they don't want to admit that is because it sort of breaks the mold with the other thing. You know, it's wild to me. Because people have questions of why you're on that app if you're doing this, and your priorities are all out of whack because your priorities seem to be drinking and drugs. And
I've always said this. Even if Orion came on the app as just Orion and not Elphaba, he would still be being camped for his behaviour, his manipulation, the way he scams, all the things he's lied about. It doesn't matter that whether he is, should we say, trans or not. It's his behaviour. He would still be being camped either way. Look at Tara Atfield, for God's sake. You know what I mean? She gets camped because she used to go live all the time battling people, and she'd how do I say this? She'd assault her kids on live. She essayed one of her children on live, and still to this day she gets camped because she still sits there and scams people. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people on this app who get camped purely just for scamming, and that's why, like I said, I always say, even if he wasn't trans and was just a Ryan Doherty, he would still be getting camped.
There's a question that was asked to Riley a long time ago. I remember when Riley first started cutting about, but somebody asked and was like, remember that night we had everybody in the box, Riley, and it was just, I don't even know what it was after that point. It was just ridiculous. But somebody asked, do you think Orion would still get the hate he got if he was attractive? And everybody was like, yes, because it doesn't your prettiness does not excuse your actions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not bothered about how they look. Just obviously some people see humour in it, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. You know, but like you said, it's like even if he was pretty, he'd still be getting it. He would still be getting it.
He could be a 10 out of 10 model. I'd still be fucking calling him out.
He's not getting the hate because, you know, I mean, let's be real, he looks a bit like a spider and a lizard tried to have a baby, right? That's not why he's getting hate. He's getting hate because of all of the things he's done.
Exactly.
You know, the hundreds and hundreds of things he's done. And I don't know where people find that disconnect, you know, like with that video, it's forced. It's not forced, trust me. It takes me very little effort to dislike Orion.
Exactly, yeah. It's not the looks, it's the behaviour. That's I don't know why people have that disconnect. People are like, oh, you're just coming at the E because of their looks. No, it's because of who they are. And this is where when E goes on about you're just coming at me because I'm a trans woman. No, you need to, and this is what annoys me, because it's like you need to sort of disconnect the two things. People are coming at you because of your behaviour. Because of your behaviour and what you do on the apps, the manipulation, the scamming, all the things. That's the reason. And the fact that they hide behind that, oh, you're just coming at me because I look this way. You're coming at me because of my hair. You're coming at me because of this. It's like, no. And it's all a distraction. It's all a deflection. And
I mean, when he's doing his should we say his, what does he call it? His self-care or whatever. He's Yeah, when he's doing his oh my god, the words right there, and it's not even a hard word. Face skincare, bloody hell. When he's doing his skincare, yeah, I sit and I'm like, you are doing it completely wrong. But I'd say the same thing to like my mate if I was sat in the same room as her and she put a collagen mask on.
Yeah,
Without
you really
cleaning her
want-
face and then moisturiser on top of moisturiser, I'd be like, you are doing that completely wrong, you know.
If I did a skincare routine online, which I'm never going to do, right? And Heather contacted me and said, "Oh, sweetie, you didn't wash your face before you put all that stuff on. Like that's not going to." I wouldn't immediately jump to that's it. Heather hates me, and it's because I have this, and this, and it's because she thinks I'm ugly. Like,
exactly
what? No, she was giving me advice. Relax.
I think Irish, I think, because I remember you were camping at the time as well, and you were saying the exact same thing as I was. I was like, you need to clean your face, and you need to tone your face, and you need to do this, and this. What you are doing is just rubbing more dirt into your face. I mean, it made me chuckle because he moisturised twice, because the products he uses, I have them. That collagen mask, that jelly moisturiser he uses. I was like, I was getting it out and everything. I was like, you're doing it completely wrong. That's a wrapping mask. It's meant to go on for at least a minimum 6 hours for the collagen to soak into your skin, and he sits there and does it for 15 minutes. I'm like, that's going to do fuck all. You're just wasting product. And then when he used that jelly moisturiser, that as well is meant to be, you're meant to sleep in that because it's a thick texture and it's meant to be absorbed into the skin after you've done like your skincare routine and everything. And then he then does the lymph node drainage thing and then puts more moisturiser on top. I'm like, you are literally just moisturising your face and rubbing
You know what
dirt
really
into
upset me is when he was doing that thing with the light he's got, you know, the scanner, the self-scanner from Tesco.
Yeah.
Really agitated me that he was doing it, and then I can't remember if I was camping or if I was in someone's box, and he went, "Oh, something burst," and I was like, "You are vile."
Oh my god, yeah. I was in that live with you. It was either Riley's or Jammy's. Because we were in the same box. Because you heard the... I think it was like, oh, did you see the pop? And we was like, that was probably a boil.
His little LED rose toy sets me the fuck off.
It's a lymph node drainage. What it's meant to do is... So, you know how you get like... You know how you can get like a double chin and like chubby cheeks and stuff? What it's meant to do is it's meant to push that fat and like sort of distribute it somewhere else, so it gives you like sharper. It's called mewing.
Yeah,
he does it right.
I do real red light therapy, which if you guys look into it, it's really advanced stuff. It's really cool. It's great for your skin and it can help your joints and blah blah blah. But there is a science behind it, and his stupid little Temu $3 toy isn't one going to have the right wavelengths of LED light to be able to have any actual effect. And every time he sits there and yaps about it, it just pisses me off because I'm like, this is wrong. He's wrong. The motherfucker is wrong yet again in sitting there talking about it like it's the gospel.
But that's
and I just
if you
get
tried
so
to give him advice on that, he would then say that you are hating on him, you're transphobic, you're this, you're that, and it's like, no, I'm generally, like, I remember before I joined any awareness, before I did any lives on him, I tried messaging him because of the way he dressed, and I was like, listen, do this, and it should help you, and you'll look more feminine this way, because at that point, you know, I generally thought that Orion was trans, and I got blocked, and I was like, what?
Strange. One of my friends is just over in America, has just started the process of transition. Beautiful lady, and she messaged me one day and she says, I don't know why these jeans just aren't working. And I said, well, send me a picture. She sent me a picture. They were low-rise jeans, and I said, honey, there is only a set amount of even biological women that can pull them off. Like, get yourself some high waist. Trust me, you'll be loving it. You'll be loving your figure. They didn't greet me with, oh, well, you know, you didn't validate me and blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, you look fine if you're comfortable. We'll try this. You know, they didn't greet me with, oh, you're transphobic. Oh, you're a terrible person. Oh, that's it. I'm never speaking to you again. they just took it as the advice it was. And I think they did take the advice, but even if they didn't, I'd just be sitting there going, that's not what they're comfortable doing. So what?
I think a lot like Rachel, Orion cannot take advice and sees it as criticism no matter what it is. But it also
Oh my
how
God.
with reality he is. Like, you know, you go up to your friends and be like, you know, do I look all right in these jeans? And if your friend said, no, you don't actually, you listen to that friend and be like, oh, well, that's shit. I like these jeans, but okay. Whereas I feel like if someone in reality was to say that to Orion would turn around and say, oh, you're just saying that because I'm trans. You're just saying that because I'm trans. You're saying that because I'm biologically a male and I want to be female.
I think that's why he can't keep a lot of friends as well, is because I'm willing to bet you know when he's had these friends, not just Jay, not just you know, Jack and you know whoever else. I think when he's had friends off live, they've probably said something along those lines, and he just got sick of biting his tongue after a while and just left him.
I mean, I don't know if any of you remember, but he did have friends at one point who tried to help him with his makeup, with his hair, with how to dress, and the look of disgust on his face that they were giving him advice, like, you could see he hated that they were telling him what to do and how to look and how to dress. Like, he wore this white outfit. It was a two-piece cord, and we've all seen how he wears his pants and his skirts right down below his waist. Yeah, you look at any female. Sorry, most females wear high-waisted. Yeah. When you look at men, it's always on the hips, below like the waistline sort of thing. And I remember he was wearing this white two-piece. It was like a short skirt and like a crop top sort of thing. And his friend turned around and went, just pull the skirt up a bit more. And he turned around and went, I haven't tucked. And she went, well, why haven't you tucked? He went, oh, it hurts. And I remember thinking, sitting there that day going, if you want to be female so much, why are you not even doing like the basic things of tucking and trying to present more female than you are?
If you can't talk, there's other ways you can camouflage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, at one point or another, there's specialised underwear, is there not? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to check. But yeah, there's things they can do.
Yeah, Mama Kaz did a video. Mama Kaz tried to be like, listen, no one wants to see it. This is what I use. If you want me to, I will send you the link. And he took that completely the wrong way. He then said that because of his acne, it hurts to tuck, which is why he don't like doing it. He went on this massive rant. And then that's when people were then questioning, going, but if you have body dysmorphia, why aren't you tucking?
Yeah, he can't take any kind of advice. And I think there's two separate videos. I think one of them is slightly irrelevant. You remember when he did his makeup with his mates? They were like in his house or whatever in Manchester, I think it was. And you know, he asked them to put, like, one of them asked him for a mascara, and he just passed it. Didn't look at him, didn't acknowledge him, nothing. And then there was another one.
I think I know what you're on about.
Yeah, wait, there's just treat them like they're nothing sort of thing. Sorry, I'm quite tired.
It's fine. There has been times, but like a lot of people do question it. Like, he claims he's got body dysmorphia now. I'm not trans. I don't understand body dysmorphia, which is why I'm glad kind of you're in here, Jackie. But surely, if it bothered him that much, he'd do anything he can to not see it and, you know, not make it visible. Because there's been times where he's been out in clubs wearing dresses and he's worn nothing underneath. Someone recorded a video of Elphaba doing his famous little jumpy handy thing, and let's just say it could have given you a black eye.
Well, I've heard stories about him in Manchester. And he literally flashed themselves in the ladies' toilets. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly, Leo. I've got another friend called Leo, and he has a blood clot in his lungs, and because of that blood clot, he can no longer take his testosterone. And since he's not been able to take his testosterone, his womanhood at the top have started coming back, basically, and his time of the month has started again, and it completely messed him up. Completely messed him up. He hated it. He was very mentally. He was not in a good place, and he even went to the lengths of buying testosterone illegally just so it would stop. And it's like, when that's why it does confuse me a lot, because I see my friends suffering because of this, yet Orion sits there and goes, I've got body dysmorphia, but happily lets it hang down.
Yeah. And to claim such a serious thing as well is just sick. Like, as someone who's gender fluid, there has been times where I've just had to go down to your Tesco or whatever for a food shop, and I've had to take up to 3 hours because I can't see myself as male going out. I have to wear makeup. I have to have my hair. I have to look feminine before I get out of the house because I just don't want to look male. And there's just days where that happens, but that's not. I don't claim that as dysphoria, and I think it's just something that happens to me. And when he claims it, it's just sick.
Yeah, like going to the shops comfortable because you feel like you're being your true self, like without putting words in your mouth. Like, that's how I see that. You can't go to like the local shop without putting your clothes on and feeling comfortable in your skin. But to me, that's what being trans is. You want to be your true self, so you will do anything, especially like in public as well, to feel like your true self. Whereas Orion, we have seen, oh God, numerous times just be completely lazy with it. You know what I mean? Like,
this is also a grown man who bought, how do I say this? Panty liners, shall we say? And feminine products, and was absolutely going to claim that they have a cycle before getting called out and saying it was for his skin condition. That doesn't make sense. It's never made sense to me.
Right, apparently everyone's getting feedback from my mic, so I love everybody and leave you, and I hope to see you soon.
Okay, I'm saying mute a minute just so I can figure out who. I know mine's been playing up, but I haven't got a clue why.
You gotta love the mics, right?
Yeah.
That video where he got pads really annoyed me.
Oh, it did. This was when he was living with Jack, and it's them earlier days. I wouldn't say he was more convincing as a female, but it was like in them earlier days you did feel a bit of pity for him, because he generally seemed like that's what he wanted, and he was trying everything he could to be like that. But as the years have gone on, obviously we've seen the truth in it.
Yeah, because you can't pity the fool anymore. I pity the fool.
It masks eventually, doesn't it?
The thing is, I mean, everyone in this room, we've got a real dark sense of humour. People need to understand that, you know what I mean? But when it comes down to the dirty stuff that we've got to go through, everyone in this room has to sift through so much evidence daily.
I think that's it, and I think it's like the other day when the thing happened, people forget that even though the sticker appears on the screen for them, the cam tours and stuff are still watching it unfold. There's, so I think it's alright if we have a bit of a dark sense of humour now and then, and we have a bit of banter. My goodness.
Absolutely, like what I'm about to say now, Orion's pecker is small. It's why I hate. Why I can't talk.
I just want to talk a bit on this comment I've just got. I'm sure he's only claiming trans is because of being around Jack. Now, if you have seen in the earlier days, like I have and like Emma have, the autism thing didn't come about till roughly Jack wanted to do Autism's Got Talent. Jack is diagnosed with autism. As we know as well, Jack is trans, and it was just looking at his behaviours today explains a lot of his behaviours back then. So he does try and copy things, he does try and be like other people, and I do generally think The only reason he is, should we say, wants to be trans and autistic is because Jack is.
Yeah.
And because
everything that Jack is doing right now is really, really, really
Jack is
messing with the OD.
incredible right now. I love swiping and seeing his videos. Amazing. But what I will say is I don't think it's just a Jack thing. I think Orion has no sense at all of self. He has no idea who Orion is. None. He said himself he is Elphaba. He grew up reading and watching Elphaba. Okay, so he adopted the personality of Elphaba, and unfortunately that did come. Then he saw that Jack was getting a lot of attention for, you know, going on his trans journey, and then Jack was getting invited to Autism Has Talent, so he wanted to be on it. Look at him with Clara and what's her name? Oh, what's the other one?
Chelsea.
Chelsea
as well.
Evil Queen. He's a different, and this is why I don't trust when he apologises, because it's just going to be the next influence that comes along. But when he was with Chelsea and Evil Queen, he was different. It was every 2 seconds, booyaka, roots, all that. And it was like, that's not you. Like, what are you trying? Like, he's doing it now, for heaven's sake. Whenever he was on live and before the incident, he was going, oh, a roots, yes, you know, and things. And it's like, that's not you. Nobody knows who Orion is.
I remember when Elphaba used to go live when he was living with Jack, and I remember every time people wanted Jack to sing, he'd pull a face. He'd start being moody. He'd constantly try and steal the limelight off Jack, and like, I think that is what makes it very obvious that he wants all the love and support that Jack gets, because every time people ask Jack to sing.
They need to try and force the song to be Defying Gravity, the duet.
Every time. And sometimes Jack would want to sing Elphaba's part, but no, Orion was like, no, I'll do Elphaba, I'm good at Elphaba, blah, 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 blah. But if you have heard Jack sing Elphaba's part, oh my goodness, he is amazing. Jack is so good.
He's amazing. He did Les Mis quite a lot as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does, but he did amazing in that. And I don't mean that. Look, I'm not sympathising here, alright? But Elphaba used to be able to sing way back.
Yeah.
He used to be able to sing, and you know what? He could hit those notes. I will not discredit him for that. But he's taken no care of his voice. He's got no training, and now I literally watched earlier one of the clips of him singing, and I'm like, he's croaking. Like, physically in his voice, he's and it's all from not taking care of it, just thinking, well, I can get up and hit all these notes that are much higher than my natural voice, you know, and I'm the best ever. And if you tell me that I'm not the best ever, or you suggest to go to a vocal coach, then you're transphobic. I'm not listening.
Because he's
what
not
makes me
being
laugh is when
hormones.
people turn around and say, well, how do you know the rugs have affected him? I grew up in the 90s where rock bands were, shall we say, snow happy, and half of their singers now cannot sing.
Yeah, as well, we need to think into account as well, because he has not been on hormones, and as we all know with men, as they get older, their voice deepens.
Yeah.
And because he didn't go on puberty blockers when he should have, and because he's not on hormones, he is going through that natural puberty of a male. So he's
absolutely. And I'm just going to dull that comment down for the stupid people in the comment section. His chestnuts are dropping. Okay.
Though is that he took care of their voice. I've seen male singers be able to reach that pitch and be able to do Defying Gravity.
Did you see Trans Wicked?
Exactly.
I loved that.
That was amazing.
He never sang Defying Gravity for what, a good week and a half. Everybody was speculating as to why, right? And I'm not going to broach that topic because frankly I cannot be asked with it anymore. But then all of a sudden it came out, this is a trans production of Wicked. The beautiful person that was playing Elphaba did incredibly. Oh my god, with such low effort as well with that voice. Hello. And that is everything he wanted to be. And that post has been viewed millions of times. People are asking for that person that was playing Elphaba to be Elphaba on Broadway, right? Beautiful, wonderful. And he could not stand it. That's why he's not an ally. That's why I don't believe that he cares anything about whether or not Wicked has a trans Elphaba or not. He just wants it to be him.
Wicked had a trans Elphaba because that was Orion's initiative. He wanted to be the first trans Elphaba because I don't know, Elphaba's meant to be trans in the book or the play or something. He wanted to be the first trans person to play Elphaba, and I remember the day he found out that it had been done. And oh my God, it was so funny. You could just see like the sparkle dull in his eye, and he was like, "Oh, well."
And just to bring it back to the topic before, sorry, I kind of zoned out, and then it clicked in my head. There was a video. You know what you were saying, Heather, about Orion and Jack?
Yes.
There's a video out there, and I'm sure we've all seen it, where when Jack tries to, stand up to him a little bit, he pulls a Maria and goes, "Oh, that's killed the mood, hasn't it?"
Yeah.
It's just unalive now, isn't it? Proper Maria and like a narc.
He used to bully Jack, that's the thing. He bullied Jack for so long.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the crusty sock. Justice for that sock.
But did anybody notice as well, it's the shrink? It's something I always saw with Jack. Whenever Orion tried to put his foot down, right? And he usually got what he wanted, right? Unless Jack's mother was around. And she would put a stop to it. But when it was the one, I'm like, Jack would shrink. He would just shrink and not really try and give it any, he would just say, "No, this is my boundary, I'm not doing it." And it was like he was afraid of Orion getting angry. He was afraid of the tantrum. So he probably saw it. I mean, he experienced it firsthand, bless him. And I said this as well. If when Orion was going on about the DV, oh, my mum, this and that, right? I think it was the opposite way around. I think he goaded his mother and he pushed every single button. And I said this, and it's timestamped. I've saved it because I'm 80% sure that I'm solid on this. But if he goes back to Maria's, it's going to be one of two things. He is going to push her buttons to the point where she does something, or it's going to be orchestrated between the two of them, and they will make sure it is online. They will make sure that it's live. And be like, "Oh, look, yeah, we don't go together, this and that." And it's like, no, it's not. You just push your mother's buttons like you do everybody else's. You've got no respect.
But
She says, "Don't sing." He sings.
Maria is done with his son. She's disowned him. She is done. That is my understanding of it.
And I know that's a terrible thing to say, and that's probably going to get clipped and put everywhere, but I hope so. For Maria's sake, you don't hear anything about Maria anymore. She went on a night out with CLA and Orion a while ago. Right? Okay, fair dues. And she didn't look to interact with Orion all that much. She just wants peace, I think. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she's a brilliant mother or anything like that, right? Obviously, she's got her own issues, but she's not parading it about on live. She doesn't want to be on live. The amount of times he was on live, "Oh, Mum, they're saying this, they're saying that," and she's like, "I don't care, get off the live, stop it, you're just feeding into it." So I'm kind of like, leave Maria to be her no drama zone, because she's sicky as well. And I would imagine it takes I don't have children, but I imagine it takes a very, very long time for a mother to get that way with her child.
If anyone in any way, if you are convinced that Maria abused E in any way, shape or form, I would politely ask you to check on people's reposts, because when he was younger, his skin was clean, the room was clean, the area that he was in was clean, and it's only quite recently, as years have gone on, you can see how much Maria has been worn down.
I will say as well, Maria cooked every meal for him. Every meal. She cooked for him almost every time they were on live. She was always making a wee roast dinner, or she was cooking. She hated him. She hated him ordering out all the time when he got the money from the lives. She hated it. And that to me says that at one point she did care. She cared enough.
Yeah. And she was always a last resort. Like, how many times has he been around the country? She's always a last resort. Like when the whole situation with the doxing thing kicked off, like he went on for a full hour and a half ranting on, and then only at the end, when he got that annoyed, was Maria phoned, because of, whether it was real or not, I don't know. But, she was phoned an hour and a half afterwards. wouldn't you call your mum the first chance you get if she's available? Because I know I bloody would. You know, take that as you
I
will.
live
I'm
in a
20,
different
but
continent to my mother. And the minute I start to feel stressed out or maybe my anxiety plays up, I call her. And she picks up regardless of what time of night it is or what time of the morning or whether she's at work.
But I mean, like, can you imagine having that as I'm sorry to say it, as a son, ringing her up, FaceTiming her, listen to me singing Defying Gravity for the billionth time.
You want to see, right, it's so funny. So you know how I said that Orion's in this group chat with Mods and Maria? Orion, when he says in this group chat, the screenshot had me cracking. He's like, I sang Defying Gravity, and Maria just goes, wow, again? I remember. And I'm like, oh my God, you can tell Maria's sick of it.
She was sick of it. He brought it home. She even says that when they're arguing. She turned round and said to him, I did not like it when you came home and changed your name. He had no respect for his mother whatsoever or her wishes.
And I think that is a thing. And again, I'm not trans, so please anybody correct me in the comments if I'm making an assumption. But from the people that I know, they've always involved their parents, even if they've been distant, into, hey, I'm going to change my name. I would like it if you could refer to me as. He just walked through the door and went, oh yeah, by the way, you can't call me that anymore. That's got to be a hard out of left field, surely.
I mean, my experience isn't the experience of everyone. It's a unique one. But my dad still calls me by the name I was given by. And I've tried to make it work and whatever, but we've just kind of come to that agreement sort of thing. But I did involve him, and I absolutely agree. Like, Maria should have been involved. You can't just walk through the door and go, by the way, this is what I want to be called. You must abide by it. It's a conversation you need to have. That's speaking for myself, by the way, not everyone. I think they do need to be involved, and I imagine Maria did lose her quite a bit when you walked through the door and went, you must say this.
It hurt Maria. As a mother, I think it would hurt me if one of my boys were to transition and not tell me that that's how they were feeling. I'd feel hurt. Now, we know Maria isn't exactly the best of mothers, but there is proof out there that she has tried. Like, there's been times, not when she's screaming at him, but she's hugged him when he's been upset, or you do see there is some mothering instinct in there. Not more.
To come off live, she tells him, stop, just get off. When he moved back with her the last time, and he was in bed and he was reading the hate comments, she came up beside him and she said, you're giving them what they want. Come off live or turn the chat off. You don't do that if you don't care.
Zal.
No, I don't think.
I'm going to bed, he goes.
All right, Emma.
Night, Emma, darling.
Night, Emma.
I don't feel like I'd fail as a parent. I feel like I feel guilty in a way because my child didn't trust me enough to tell me. And the way I parent, my kids tell me everything. I know they're only young, but if they've done something wrong, they won't lie and say it wasn't me. They'll tell me straight up if they've done it. And it's like, I think the reason why Maria reacted the way she did was because she was hurt. Like, generally, I think she would have been hurt by that. Like, why didn't you tell me you were going through this? Why didn't you tell me?
Probably a bit shocked. I can forgive somebody for being a bit shocked, and taken off guard. I'm not on the Maria hate train or anything. I do genuinely think that she tried, and like Emma said, she was worn down after many, many years. And this is, I know that we all, I know Orion likes to sit there and go, I'm a dainty 5'11". No, you're not. You absolutely are not. You are massive. Like, you're 6 foot something. You're a big lad, right? And I'm not saying that in terms of weight or anything. He's always been quite tall. When he throws a fit, the way that he throws a fit, now imagine, we've seen maybe 20% of what Maria's had to put up with, realistically. If he smashes things up and acts like that on the daily, if he doesn't get his weight, I can imagine, there's nothing to Maria. She's tiny.
What he was like as a kid. I've always said this, and I stand by this. I think Maria is scared of Orion. I don't think Maria has ever touched Orion. I think it's the other way around. I think he has clocked her a few times.
I agree.
I 100% think that, because we've seen the way he acts around females. He has this toxic masculinity, as I call it. He acts like, oh, I'm the man, you're the woman, you do as I say, blah, 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 blah. And he tries to be scary towards women. I mean, look at all those female cam-tours and awareness pages. He's gone for us more than he's gone for the males. Like, I mean, Riley, Jamie and Ollie are on a list, but you guys haven't been threatened, you know what I mean? You guys haven't been called.
Well, as of the other day, Ollie was threatened. So was Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
They were both threatened.
But you know what
I was totally good, but that's because I accidentally had a typo in the chat, and that was not my fault. That was my phone's fault. Thank you very much. That was an accident. But yeah, he full named Ollie. He doxed Ollie's full name. Thankfully, Ollie does not mind. And he's already said he's going to come after Jamie. He's going to come after Ollie, and it's like, by all means. But you know what? You won't actually do it to a guy, though, will you? You'll do it to Irish. No offense, Irish, because Irish is a woman.
He won't ever mention my name.
Oh no, not now.
One part of it.
No, but back in the day when he came after, because you're a woman, when has he actually ever, I know that he sent people after Riley, but when has he ever actively gone after? He'll chase a young girl around Primark, screaming at her, saying that he's the one being harassed. He'll scream at women on the street. He'll yell and he'll scream and he'll beat up his bed frame or whatever the fuck we're choosing to do this week. He'll do all that, but if you put a man in front of him, he will cower and he will run.
Yep.
And he'll put his hat on, his wee comfort hat.
Oh, I mean, no, he hates a strong woman, because we just have to ask Miss Natasha what he thinks about a strong woman. He'll confront him on his bullshit.
To threaten him, and when she went up and squared up to him and was like, go on then, you said you were going to punch me. He
said he was going to bite her. And then she was wait a minute, really? He hid behind a female police officer, for goodness sake. I didn't say that. Shut up, it's literally right there.
And this woman was only about 4 foot tall.
I know, she's tiny.
It did make me chuckle.
I think he's eventually anyone that's doing better than him. So, all the female cam tours that have so much support, and the guys as well, you know what I mean? And everyone that has the support, every trans woman and man out there that has the support, the things he's not getting, he can't stand that they're getting it.
Why did you ever called out Toby J? Why do you think that is?
I mean, the prime example of him, I've always said this, he hates women, is the Primark incident in Manchester. So when Hugo went up to him and asked him all those questions, he walked away from Hugo and claimed victim. But when that girl went up and said team exposed, he chased her through Primark, giving her shit.
And then said he was harassed to the guard, to the security guard, and was like, I'm being harassed. Everybody's just watched you chase this young lassie out of Primark, you silly little boy. What do you think you're doing? And I will say,
I will see you all soon.
Alright, good night, darling.
Good night. Have fun.
I will say it speaks volumes that his half-sister met him once for a few hours and wants nothing to do with him. And I know he's probably going to get sent clips to this and whatever, and I'll say it how it is. She wants nothing to do with him. Nothing at all.
No.
Just like most of his family don't. His mother doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. His dad sure as hell doesn't. You know, for whatever reason. Does that not say something? All these people that are saying, oh, it's forced, and oh, you know, let's be empathetic towards Orion. Does it not speak volumes that every single member of his family cannot be bothered with him, don't want the drama, they don't want it brought to their door anymore?
Let's not forget the majority of his so-called friends who have, should we say, stepped back, a lot of them, nearly all of them, don't know each other. They've never met each other. They're not even mutuals. And every single one of them has said the same thing every time.
Says something, doesn't it? It says something when they all say exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm waiting for the day that he calls out count tours again. I really am, and calls them all, like, call all of us transphobic, because I will happily get in a box and go, well, I've been here for a month, and these people have used my preferred name,
times I have
my
tried
pronouns, everything.
As soon as he starts going, I request his box. I always request his box on my main account so he knows it's me. Never get accepted because he doesn't want the confrontation. He'll happily sit there and say it to my face, say it to my face. So I go, all right then, request his box, but he will never accept it and will never let
He's in Jamie's live before. He got caught. He goes to all the cam tours on his other account, which is his name, by the way. Just really smart.
Maria. It's Maria as well.
And everybody says, jump in the box then. Jump in the box. We're not going to do what certain other people did, which is give you a couple fucking handouts, right? And wish you on your merry way. We will absolutely bring you to accountability. That's what he doesn't like. He doesn't like that the chat won't be on his side, that the people talking to him will not be... Don't get me wrong, I'll be very respectful for the most part. I'm saying that now, right? If I go off on him in a box at any point, then I probably just lost control. Just a preface. But
I mean, I know for a fact if he was to ever come in our live or ever let us in his live, we'd keep it respectful. But the minute he starts shouting over us, I know for a fact we'd start shouting.
I mean,
I just let Ollie loose on him. I just let Ollie and Cody loose on him.
No, I claim Irish and Emma. Like, have you heard them too when they shout? Oh my goodness.
No, I don't want to.
I've heard that.
No, I'm scared.
I'll just turn around and say, I'm not one of these young ones that you bully, and I'm not your mother that you can scream and shout at. So keep your voice down. Let's have a respectful conversation. We're going to hold you to account. I'm not going to shout at you, so you don't get to shout and rant and rave at me. I'm not one of these people that you can bully and intimidate. I've had to deal with that before, and I'm not dealing with it now.
well, see, what got me is he said I was hiding behind my account, and I'm a coward because I won't show my face. And come say it to my face. But I've sent people in to say, unblock Irish, she wants a word.
Never. Not once. He's got every iteration of Irish blocked in his words. The emojis, the hearts, everything.
Flags, everything.
Everything.
Every spelling version of it.
Absolutely wild.
This is why I keep suggesting we all go on a Cam 2 meetup in London. We know where he drinks. We know where he's not banned from. I definitely think we should do it.
I'm up for it.
Could you imagine us getting ready on a night out and so are we, and we just so happen to be sat on a table in that bar in Soho, and we just go, hello, we're here for that word. We're here to say it to your face as you keep telling us to.
Right, you wouldn't even get that far. He'd be out the door and halfway back to his mum's. He'd be on the phone at 999 immediately. Oh,
They're stalking me, they're harassing me.
I've
Just saying mean, hurty words.
They keep on saying, come and say it to my face. Yeah, I live up north, right? So, like, if I had to travel down to London, right? But they keep on saying, come and say it to my face. Okay, we'll come and say it to your face then. And if they call the 999 and call the police, right? We'll be like, well, hey, officer, look what they turned around and said. They said, come and say it to my face. It's right there in black and white. So we're coming and saying it to their face, like they suggested. But...
literally, the first words out my mouth would be, hello, Orion, we're here to say it to your face as you keep asking us to. Like, that would be the first words out of my mouth.
And the last time he said about me, oh, if you want a word, you can pay me a universe. I was like, I don't think so.
Oh, I'll be generous. I'll buy him a drink and probably a bag of something and be like, here you go, I've got you something to support you whilst we talk to you.
There's your bag of towels.
You get it after. We've had the conversation.
We're having the conversation first and then you get the prize.
There's your bag of
conversation after.
Honestly, if he does watch the lives, on top of what Joshy was saying,
you know, how he watches the cam tours and stuff.
Mm.
And listen here, Onion Boy, if you are watching, do not take mine or the cam tours' relaxed demeanour or friendly demeanour as the we're pushovers, because we're really not. Like,
No.
I've
no, I
gotten
am.
quite annoyed.
And I'm okay with it.
Before.
I'm okay with being a pushover. Just saying.
You are?
I'm okay with being a pushover. I've been outed numerous times as being a pushover. I'm okay with that. But the problem is, when you push a pushover too far, that they're going, I'm not moving on this, you know you've kind of messed up a little bit. Because these are all very nice people. I would just like to clarify that. There's not a single person, right, in this box or in the Cam2 community that I have an active problem with. Genuinely. No, we might disagree now and then, I'm sure we do. We might have our preferences, personality-wise, but there's not a single person, and I said this earlier, we may well fall divided. You might go after Heather, right, and manage to take Heather down, whatever, right, just as an example. Sorry, Heather. Or Irish, or Denian, or Joshy, or anybody, right, or me. But I'm telling you right now, divided we might fall, together we'll rise up. Don't you worry about it. Doesn't matter how many cracks people are trying to make, how many people are trying to force out a narrative that we're all falling apart at the seams and we all clearly hate each other. Come on now. Got more friends than you, Ryan.
I mean, I do feel like you guys are going to kick me and Riley out the Discord if we keep lizarding you guys, like. But...
I'm going to kick you both out personally if you keep lizarding, because honest to God, oh my God, I was like, what is it? I didn't know what the reference was. I genuinely thought the two of you had taken something. I messaged Cody and I was like, have they been drinking? And then I saw the video and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And poor Emma put up a video about all the stuff. She was like, oh no.
We're terrible because what we do now, me and Riley, is just send each other the lizard. Like, just, you want to see our TikTok chat? It's just lizard, 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 lizard.
That's the best way to describe it. We're all one team. We might have different players out on the field at different times, but we're still one team.
Yeah, and don't think as well, because we're not all in each other's boxing, all in each other's life, doesn't mean we're not supporting each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I won't have time to sit in Jammy's live or yours, Yaps, but I will quickly jump in, repost, add the story, and then go carry on doing what I'm doing, you know?
And I don't take that personally. Nobody takes that personally as far as I'm aware. Nobody takes that.
Exactly.
I cannot count how many times I miss somebody putting up a video, so I really do apologise if, like, you know, I'm liking a video from back in June. It's just appeared on my page.
No,
my bad.
I will hold my hand up and tell myself I'm not the best at cam-2ing because it does drain you a lot. And so, like, I'm best at just doing a live stream and just talking about things, or doing a video and giving my opinion. That's what I'm best at doing. I'm not best at doing the cam-2 thing because it's a lot, it's draining. So I hold my hat up to anyone who does do the cam-2. I tried to do it, and it's,
that's why we add humour into it, and that's why we try to make it fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, because it is draining. Like I said, you'll probably see me taking a break at least once a month, but that's because, you know, I understand my mental health, and Elphaba's not triggered me, or no one's triggered me. Just I know when it's getting too much, I need to take a step back.
It's very easy to get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
and that's just I just do videos, or if I do a live, I will grab some videos from the FYP and just discuss it. That's what, as I said, that's what I'm good at doing. You know what I mean? You find your strengths, and this is where sort of like we all come together. And
I mean, look at Emma, for example. Emma's strength is making the videos, whereas cam-2ing, she wouldn't know where to go. Mine is both, you know, a lot of us are both, but some of us are strictly activism, some of us are strictly videos, but...
I cannot make the videos.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, like...
I can do it, but I can't make the videos, like...
That's what I mean, though, but because we all work together, it gets out further, because, you know, I always try and repost everyone's videos, I try and repost everyone's live, and we all do the same to each other as well, you know, we always make sure that basically we're encouraging engagement to everyone else's profiles, because we all do different styles of awareness as well. I try and do mine more like you're having a chat with your mate, basically.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? It's sort of like we all have our different strengths, and we all do different things, and you know, this is the reason sort of like I was going to say, so this is the reason sort of like I hold my hand up to the cam-2ers, because like you cam-2 like a multitude of different people. I just stick to E because that's all my mental Fortitude can handle. I see sort of like CLA, Rachel, and all the different wrong'uns on this app. I do see a lot what goes on. It's just compartmentalizing everything, and there's a lot that goes on. I don't know how people like. It's just there's a lot that goes on at every moment. That's the reason why I generally do stick to E. And when it comes to E, it's a personal thing as well, because E with the autism, ADHD, trans, there's a lot like E's affecting a lot of the communities that I'm a part of. So that's the reason why I stick to E as well.
And I think as well, like even just sticking to E is so exhausting. Like I'm not joking when I say I've made a rule that if E starts singing and he has a day where he's singing, I come off. I'll just go direct you to the lovely yap, jamming.
I don't come off, but I take my headset off and walk away, and I just leave the chat to deal with it. I'm like, no.
I just refuse to even entertain the singing anymore. As soon as you start singing, I'm like, I'm out.
The singing is what drains me the most. Like, I can't sit there and listen to the singing. Like I remember I wanted so bad to see Wicked, and then after all this Elphaba stuff, I can't even watch the advert because it was hearing the song. Like, I watched some of the videos from Trans Wicked, and I tried to watch those videos all the way through, but I couldn't do it because that song, it sounds like nails on a chalkboard no matter who sings it.
You know what's weird though, for me at least, is I can't watch him singing without getting visibly angry. It's not. I don't care about his technique. I don't care about his voice. None of that. I just get angry, like really angry. So
I only really get that. No, I only really get that when it's Disney, because don't ruin Disney for me. Like, I was a Disney child. Don't just do me a favour and don't fucking touch it. Leave it alone. It's fine how it is. I do not need you caterwauling like you did with Titanic, like you did with Whitney Houston and Ghost and all that. Leave it alone.
Oh, not Whitney Houston. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And no Lady Gaga either.
No, what gets me is sort of like I bought a karaoke machine and like do all these things. So like I like to sing, or should I say sing? I can't sing to save my life, right? I like to do those things every once in a while, right? And I call it butcher-okie because I can't sing for anything. But I have the self-awareness to be like, I can't sing, and I know it's just for fun and laughs. And I think that's where, how do I say it? It's sort of like, when it comes to E and they're singing, it's sort of like, the critique when it comes to E is, they try so hard to be like, I'm a professional singer and I have to sing. And it's like, you don't have to. And a lot of people are critiquing you for your singing, and you don't like the critiques. Whereas sort of like, when I do it, I'm sort of like, I know I can't sing. I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get on the freaking West End or do any of those kind of things. It's just let's do this for an hour or 2 or 3. Let's ruin some songs for people.
See, now I can sing, but I get karaoke nerves, and it's like as soon as I'm on karaoke, that's it. I forget how to do everything, and I sound like a cat dying. Quite literally.
I love a sing song. I'm honestly like karaoke night when, guys, like there's a really cute place in Edinburgh. You can book a private booth where it's just you and your friends, and they'll send big boxes of cold beer in with you. Like, you can order food to the booth. It's amazing.
When we do meetups, we always make sure we find somewhere that does karaoke, and you bet we do Defying Gravity every time. Every time.
When I do the butcher-okie, everyone turns around and says, do Defying Gravity, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no, when Orion's taking stuff requests, I get people to go over and spat and gang PPAP.
Yeah.
I will sing Gangnam Style.
You need this night out or something, really do.
The thing is, it's just meant to be a laugh between friends. I think I get what Josh is saying. Orion is trying too hard. It's too hard for... Now, don't get me wrong, you've got beautifully talented people out there. I will forever give shout outs to Chrissy Sings, because if you scroll to her, she's always done up like Rapunzel or Anna. She doesn't just sing Disney, but she's got a beautiful setup where she looks like she's in a fairy tale garden, and her makeup is pristine. She's always got a wig or her hair or whatever. She's been signed a few times to sing at Renaissance Fest. If Orion did that, where he was just like, this is me singing, I've got a good little setup because I had 300,000 fucking quid. Yeah, she's always in. She's beautiful. She's got the little stitch.
I like her.
Yeah.
So she has really good like princess voice. So it's like I've heard her a few times sing like normal songs, but she's really good at doing the princess song. She has such like that. She has that like melancholic, but it's a really melodic, sweet, like a really sweet voice. Like she could easily be a princess.
She takes time with her appearance before she goes live, and she'll say, "I'm going live at 7 o'clock at night until 9 o'clock at night just to do some singing and things." It's all very family friendly. It's a lot of fun. If Orion put in half as much effort as she did, he had £300,000. You're telling me he couldn't have afforded a nice little setup wherever he was? He absolutely could have. You can't just sit there, roll out of bed, looking like Hagrid the fucking gameskeeper, right? With an unwashed face, unwashed clothes, all right? Last night's spaff all over yourself, and just go, I'm singing now, guys. Why aren't you gifted? Why do you think?
I've said the exact same thing. I've said similar things, right? If he put effort into how he looks, and if he like a phone stand, 15 quid TikTok shop, he can easily get a microphone off Vinted, for cheap. Like, he can easily create his own little setup. I mean, he can get them soundproofing pads, for God's sake, and just use command shift.
Honestly,
he doesn't get charged when he moves out for like putting holes in the walls and stuff. And he can easily give himself a little booth. And if he just sets specific times where he's singing, and then the rest of the times it's his live, I think it'd be more...
The problem is that requires effort on his behalf. That requires him having a schedule and going, okay, on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm going live. Fridays is going to be a little bit extra late night because, it's the weekend. That requires... This is a person who got a role in a theatre production and got kicked out because they couldn't be bothered to turn up all the time. This is not somebody who's going to put any work in. Everybody has said it, but this person genuinely expects Wicked the musical, Wicked the Broadway show, to just appear one day at his house and go, oh yeah, by the way, you're the new Elphaba. That's not how it works. And if you can't turn up to a shitty, like, no offense, I've been there, like, I've done acting school. If you can't turn up to a theatre group's rehearsals that last about 2 to 3 hours, you will never cope on Broadway, where you are on your feet for 16 hours and you might not even be needed that day. But you've just got to sit there.
No,
he's never going to do it.
Back to what you were saying, Heather, about the studio thing.
Yes.
A good mic is not that expensive. The podcasters have those mics on the hangers.
Yeah.
80 quid. Soundproofing, 300. That's it. And like you were saying, a microphone. And that wouldn't even take effort. You can get all that delivered to your door.
That Chrissy Sings one that she uses, the one that... the microphone she uses, everybody was asking her, what do you use, because it's so clear. She was like, it's £45. She gave everybody the thing. She said it's £45. She says my whole setup in total with the little princess archway and all of that, she says this setup doesn't cost me more than about £500 to £600, like, in total. And I was like, okay. I was like, there's no excuse then. They were told, why don't you go busking? I don't want to have to buy a speaker. I don't want to have to try and buy a microphone, because everybody told them, hey, to busk in their area is about 30 quid for the year, give or take. It's not that much.
But I mean, if he's not going to pay £30 to gender GP to get hormones, do we really think he's going to pay £30 a year
True.
for a license to busk?
Easy mistake to make,
He doesn't even care as well, is because... how the chestnuts have dropped. Like, I have the exact same problem. 90% of the songs I listen to is, the female pop songs kind of thing, especially K-pop Demon Hunter. Don't start me off.
Oh my god!
No, on topic.
On topic, right? Yeah, sorry. But because of, frankly, how deep my voice is, I just don't like it sometimes, I've had to adapt and learn to sing songs at a lower register. He will never do that.
No.
Not in a million years.
I'm pretty sure Jack said the exact same thing as well, because Jack, in his most recent testosterone video, he has said how he can't sing in the notes he used to, and he's learning now to sing in the new notes.
He never bossed fraternity. He would gate crash other buskers. I'm sure you've all seen the clip of them doing the Christmas song where they just stand awkwardly at the side of the woman until she gives him the microphone. And he had a lovely voice back then. He did a good voice with the operatic, but the problem is he never looked after it. He knows full well he cannot go and stand on a street anywhere now because of what he's done. Don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning anybody doing anything to this person on the street. Okay, let's just get that clear before anybody clips me out of context.
Something will happen.
But something will happen. London is it's like any big city. It's dangerous anyway. You know, you need to know what you're doing and, you know, have a good sort of social awareness, you know, or people will take advantage of you. I've been to London a handful of times and been terrified all those times because I was on my own. But he needs to understand, this is where I think he does realise that he's at fault. People randomly will not just walk up to you on the street and throw hectaves of nonsense at you, right? They will not do that. Not regular people anyway, right? There's a couple barmy lot out there that will do it for a laugh. If you are scared to go and stand on the street of where you're from because of what you've done online, then that's on you. You need to make those amends, right? It's the same as what I said earlier. Forgiveness is fine. Say you're sorry, but you need to make amends for what you have done before anybody will take you seriously.
Absolutely. And
they'll never do it. They'll never actually do that.
No, don't believe they will. I really don't believe they will. And I've said it before. I give it 3 years and this person is going to be in jail. And all these people going, but I'm empathetic towards them. Oh, but the hate is forced. Oh, but this is this and this is this. At the end of the day, you're all going to be eating crow. Okay, when he is taken away in handcuffs because he has endangered somebody, he has been responsible for somebody doing something to themselves, or he's just gone too far with the scamming, and finally the police wake up and go, you know what, you really don't need to be in the general population right now, you need help.
I genuinely think in the next 5 years he is either going to get arrested. I 100% am certain that he's going to come out and be like, oh no, actually call me Orion, I want to be a boy again. I know that's going to happen, like I can just see it. But I do think the police, he's going to get done, I think, for wasting police time.
Yeah,
I think that'd be the first thing that they do, and the ambulances and things like that. Like, everybody knows what the emergency services is like in the UK. You know, I don't need to tell you what it's like. You know, you can wait hours for an ambulance sometimes, you know, and it is genuinely a very bad situation. Same with the police. You know, we've all seen what's happening with Stormy, bless her. You know, and this person goes on live and calls the police. I mean, at this point, it's like every Tuesday, every day that ends with a Y. They're just calling the police. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get you arrested. By all means, try and get me arrested. This is the other thing that somebody brought up. We have police officers, ex-police officers, current police officers. Riley himself has spoken to law enforcement and things like that. He was very open about it. You know, they've all said you're within the statutes of the law. They're putting it out into the public domain. They're not doing this, you know, behind the scenes. You've not got your camera out recording them when they're just in their room. You know, they're going on live, they're putting it into the public domain. He knows damn well he cannot go after any of the cam tours, right? Some of the people that comment and say things, sure, right? But that has not come from the cam tours. I can 100% with certainty say anybody that's gone into the chat saying for Orion to do anything to himself that would inflict harm is not from the cam tour community. We have never openly encouraged that, ever. And I wish people would stop perpetuating that, because it's just not the case. And that does get me, that one does get me a little bit agitated, because there's no point in sullying our name to make Orion look better.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And with what we were saying about, you know, about wasting the police and ambulance time, I was out in Leeds a couple weeks back, and I was seeing a show, and unfortunately someone had a seizure, I think it was,
and it took about 20 minutes for the ambulance to get there. And I'm not joking when I tell you the only thing on my mind, apart from are they okay, is this is what people like Orion are doing.
Yep.
It's sick, isn't it?
It honestly is sick.
That I live about a 20-minute drive from a hospital. So where I am, if I need to go to the hospital, I don't ring an ambulance. I just book a taxi because I can get there quicker. And there's no point for me really to ring an ambulance when I'd be faster in a taxi. Yeah, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but rather than wasting that ambulance time, unless it's like life or death.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what I mean? Like, the amount of times he's rang an ambulance, you don't need to ring an ambulance, just hop in a taxi and go check in at A&E, because all the ambulance is doing is pushing you up the queue. That is it.
He knows that, and he doesn't want to wait at A&E for hours. That's what it is. He doesn't
that
want to
annoyed
wait
me.
for hours.
Oh, that comment when they put on Instagram that remember when they put the picture up saying, "Oh, I'm possibly going to be sectioned." Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they went to them and they were like, "Oh, they want me to wait and I don't want to wait." Who the hell are you? I wasn't aware
that made me angry.
England. You will wait like everybody else because you know what? There's people who genuinely need that help before you. Don't get me wrong, it's agitating sometimes when you're in pain and you have to wait. I'm not going to say that, but at the end of the day, we all know, you know what, the reason they're not at me yet is because somebody is worse off. Something has happened, you know, it could be a car accident, it could be anything. And those people need immediate and direct help before I do. And
it's not well. So if you go in for a mental health crisis, the reason why you wait as long as you do for being there for what you're there for is because you are being assessed the entire time. The minute you book in for a crisis, you are being assessed. They want to see how you're acting. They want to see how you're behaving because, like Orion, a lot of people do go in for attention purposes, and they want to see what you do. They want to see if you go for a smoke break. They want to see if you eat. They want to see if you drink. They want to see how you interact with other people. It also, as well, goes down to the finer details of where you sit, you know, how you walk and all that lot. You are assessed the minute you are booked in, because you can act one way in front of the doctors but another way when you know eyes aren't watching you, but the entire time you are being watched when you're in for a crisis like that, a mental health crisis. Because my friend's a doctor, and my most previous, should we say, trip, I was sat in the corner the entire time, didn't even go out for a vape, nothing, just sat there, and the doctor walked past me, eyeing me up every time, and I was getting agitated by that, and then it was until after everything that had happened, I asked him, I was like, why do they do that? Like, I said, the entire time I was in there, I was being watched. Like, what the hell? He was like, yeah, because you are assessed the minute you go in. Now, what?
Of course, because of people like E who sit there and waste time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why people get so irritated when E I'm just going to take a selfie at the hospital. Look at me. I'm having a crisis. You're not having a crisis because you're on social media. This is where I really want people to understand when people are like, oh, we need to be empathetic towards E because E's going through a mental health crisis. No, they're not. Because if you people who do suffer with mental health and do have mental health crises, they wouldn't be on social media. They wouldn't be posting this all over social media for the whole world to see. Like that's not the first thing that they think about. Whereas E's first thought is, I need validation from other people. If you're going through a mental health crisis, you don't need validation. That's not the first thought. Like it irritates me so much when E does things like that, because it's just like, why do you need validation from strangers to validate if you're going through a mental health crisis?
The thing is, as well, I think he tends to forget that these nurses are trained in all aspects of mental health, but they are also trained in spotting certain behaviours. So it's like he could be sat there going, "Oh, I'm so depressed. I want to unalive myself." Blah 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 blah. But what they're actually doing is they're watching your body language. They're watching your responses to things. They're watching how you answer the questions, whether you're thinking about it or not. They watch every single little detail, and they can figure out if you are manipulating them or not.
Like, could you imagine sitting there? You're a trained healthcare professional. You're sitting there, you're watching all these people come in, you know, and this person comes up and says, "I'm having a mental health crisis, I've been taken here by the police, blah, blah, blah." And then they sit on their phone, talking to their phone, very calmly, might I add, and updating their followers. Mm-hmm. That, to me, immediately is going to go, you're right at the back of the queue. Right at the back. Because meanwhile, there's somebody screaming about X, Y, and Z. There's somebody, you know, who's collapsed, all that. Like, I'm not going to go and see you first. You're fine. You're able to update your friends, your followers, your family. You're okay. For right now, you're okay. You're presenting to me as okay. I don't believe this person has mental health problems. I believe that they're a narcissist. And I think that it's all going to come crashing down very, very quickly around them in the next few months. It would be my guess. I don't give them 3 years. 3 years is a top end. I'm being graceful with that. I think in the next few months, something's going to happen.
The thing is, though, he hasn't had his assessment yet, and you have your assessment before you're put on the path. So it's like you have an assessment, you answer these questions, and then it's like through these questions that you answer is whether they put you on the pathway to a diagnosis or not. I have not had that initial assessment yet because, how do I explain this? Like, if he'd have had that assessment, he'd 100% know whether he's on the pathway or not. Yeah, we all know he doesn't go to doctor's appointments. He sleeps
about camps, and I personally don't have. I've never been to a camp. My brother was, and you know, my brother was. You know, he had behavioural problems as a child, right? He was told that, you know, he's got a bit of, I can't remember what his exact thing was, but they put him on a pathway for it. They sent him to a specialised school, and they got him help. I can't remember what diagnosis he got. I know it's not autism, but it was when he was very young, and all of that helped him, and he went on to have a successful career in the army and everything like that. You know, he's done very well for himself, and he will always say, "Cams might not have been able to diagnose what was going on with me. You know, it was probably a blip in his childhood development." That's what he says. It's a blip in my childhood development. Something happened, and I just wasn't functioning the way I was supposed to. Putting him then into a specialised school where they could deal with behavioural problems, amazing. And Orion keeps saying, "Cams. You were assessed at a young age and nothing happened." Maria has even said that. You weren't diagnosed with anything. If you had the signs then, they, like you said, they would have put you on the pathway. They would have helped you. They would have given you things. You would have got... You're over 18 now. Cams do not deal with... They deal with children, last I checked.
Yeah. So cams deal with, should we say, minors under the age of 16. Once you hit 16, you're then passed off to the adult services, should we say. And basically, if you'd have been... He said he's been assessed a couple of times by cams, which means if he's been assessed a couple of times and had not come out with a diagnosis, then he does not have it. And probably the only reason he got referred to cams is because it's changed a lot now, but when I was in school, it was your teachers would make a referral based on your behaviours. But remember as well, a lot of people who went to school with Orion have turned around and said that he was the bully. So obviously he would have been seen as very disruptive, this, and this. So they have a obligation to put a referral in. Cams then get involved, but cams sometimes get involved as well due to social services. So sometimes if social services are involved, cams get involved as well, because cams is basically it's like the mental health team for children. And sometimes they get involved with social services as well. So it could have been that path, it could have been the school making a referral. But if it was for ADHD, and again, he wasn't diagnosed with it, both times, however many times it's been, then he does not have it. Because the thing is as well, ADHD in boys is diagnosed earlier than it is in girls.
Yes, it is. Yeah, same with autism as well. It's diagnosed earlier in boys than it is in girls. But here's the thing: what I will try and say is this: when it comes to these diagnoses and things like that, when they are with their mum, it's hardly ever mentioned. It's only when they're on their own does this ramp up and go haywire. So when they're with their mum, it's never mentioned, hardly ever mentioned. But when they are out of their mum's care and out of that environment, they're all of a sudden, it's the ADHD and autism and depression is ramped up to the max. And I often think that is because when they're with their mum and when they are living at home, they can't get away with that.
Because Maria outs him every time. Every time he's been outed, it's because it's been Maria who's done it.
Yeah, because Maria knows. And this is where I'm sort of like, and if they keep on saying, I'm being referred, but they never show any proof of this ever at all. And they've been doing this for the past 5 years. I am autistic, then I'm not autistic because they got called out for it. I'm waiting. Now we're doing it again. And I'm like, dude, and they keep on saying, I'm this way because of this. And it's like, it drives you nuts because it's just like, it's giving...
When does it end?
Yeah, it's the same cycle of, I'm this way because of autism, I'm this way because of ADHD, I'm this way because of depression. And I'm like, do you actually, when you break it down and when you actually look into it, no, you're not this way because of these things. You just are this way because of the way you are.
I think it's also, like, it always baffles me when they do that, and then all of a sudden they're now part Jewish. All of a sudden their mum was a traveller. Now, this has only come to the light in the last, 3 months. Like, they've never mentioned this, ever.
Always an excuse for them. It's always an excuse.
Always. It's never going to stop. Even when they run out of excuses, they'll just circle back. They'll circle back because the minute that they are forced to take accountability, that's when the meltdown happens. That's what happened the other day. Nobody was telling them to do anything to themselves in that chat. I was watching it on my browser. Jamie was streaming it, and I was 20 seconds ahead of him. And I was like, they're gearing up for something. I don't know why they're crying. All people were asking for was, can I please have the receipts? Where's the receipts? We need evidence that this is the same person. And obviously, they didn't buy the strange comment thing that Orion said, the story about the boss. And that's what happened. The moment they didn't have anywhere to turn, they didn't have an avenue to go down to explain their narrative, is when they got upset. At any point, just remember, at any point, they could have clicked the end live button. They'd done it twice that day already. Why not then?
Yeah. And that, when he did that live in that bus story, it was so pathetic, it was laughable almost.
Yeah.
It's because, I don't shame away from it. I'm a larger person, right? And when I'm on a bus, I have to keep my legs together because I've got such a wide frame. It happens all the time with me, and I just kind of just move my leg back a bit. No one's come up to me and gone, "Oh, you're being weird, you."
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
If you're sitting next to somebody on a bus, if you're getting a bus to work and it's busy, or you're getting a bus home and it's the rush hour, you're kind of squeezed in there like sardines. We all know that. And it doesn't make sense, because when you try and add the story up, why would somebody, right, who you know is a convicted right, why, if they invited you from the club and you said no to afters, would you then be on a bus with them? Doesn't make sense.
None of their stories make any sense, and they're just. What do I want to say? Like, I don't. When you peel it back, this was all to try and discredit the posters that were being put out, because the posters were factual. Truthful, and if you just looked up online, the posters were factual and truthful. There was no transphobia. There was no nothing. It was all factual and truthful. So it was like, well, how can I discredit the posters now? Oh, I'm going to do this. And the story that he concocted in their mind, if you just, again, if you, on the surface, you know, just look into it, just think about it critically, none of it makes sense. So people were like, can you provide facts? Can you provide evidence? No. They were going on his word, and he lies and manipulates. So people are going to be like, well, you're a liar.
And there's definitely something more to that post. Obviously, this has happened before, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. And people can feel free to disagree with me. That's fine. There is definitely something more. Something happened with those past posters that he is not saying about, because he went ballistic. Like,
what happened is how do I explain this? People were ringing up his accommodation. They were sending the posters to the council that they were with. And if I remember rightly, they got, I think, oh God, I can't remember. I think it was something along the lines of, the council got that many emails. They had it's not an official eviction. It's like an eviction before an eviction. So
like notice.
Yeah, a notice. So you need to be out of this property within 28 days, or we're going to enforce eviction proceedings. And it would have been because of, it was mainly student accommodation they were in, and it's for a lot. It was specifically for LGBT. Which is how they would have got in there as well. And obviously they've got to keep everyone there safe, and it was more so for their safety, but it wasn't just that as well. Tony actually drove up to Manchester when Orion threatened him, which is why he's, I think, gone as ballistic as he had this time, because obviously what happened with Tony, he's scared that it's going to happen again. He's going to get confronted. I think generally that's why he's acted the way he is, because he doesn't want to be confronted. And the fact that he's come up with this complete elaborate lie, he wants people, because the last time as well, people felt sorry for him because of the posters. Whereas this time, everyone's bigging it up and agreeing with it. And I think he hates that also, which is why he's trying to spin this narrative that Jenny is this nasty individual, which we all know she is not, and he wants people to be completely on his side, which again they're not.
I've seen no evidence that Jenny and Jade are even remotely connected, and don't get me wrong, here's the thing, it just baffles the mind, because it's like, it doesn't matter. Okay, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this might land some people in hot water, I don't care who put the posters up, right? I really don't. The posters were done within the legal frame, right? They were just put up with factual information. It wasn't slander, it wasn't defamation, right? So, and it wasn't, I know for a fact it wasn't just Jenny. There was other people out putting posters up and things like that.
The thing is, those posters, they are nothing. Basically, those posters are what we do online, just in the public. So we can too, and we say all those things about him online. Those posters are just making people aware in his area what we make people aware of online.
If somebody put posters up about me in my area, I wouldn't really bother. I've not done anything wrong. You know what I mean? It'd be a bit like, it's a bit weird, but I haven't done anything wrong. And this is the same person. 5 days previous to that was talking about how it made them famous. Oh, I'm the real Elphaba. It makes me famous. Oh, I love it. They said that on live. They put a post up about it and then very quickly deleted it on Instagram right before they went live. Right? This is not news. So how are you going to act like suddenly it's a whole hate campaign? You were bragging about it being a witch hunt.
Because when they were bragging about it, they said it was transphobic. And
nothing on there was transphobic.
It backfired massively then. And people were calling them out for it then. So even when they were trying to big it up and trying to be like, oh, I'm famous, this, that, and the other, it had the opposite. Everything that he tries to do, it backfires tremendously, because he's trying to get validation from other people and trying to be like, see, look at all these people calling me out. I'm the real life Elphaba, when you're not, you're just wrong and on the app. So that failed. So now they're trying to be like, well, anyone who agrees with this, you agree with a convicted you know what. And that also now backfired. So they had to go to the extreme. Everything that he's trying to do to discredit these posters is backfiring massively. And it's because on the posters, it's speaking facts. And the fact that it's now coming on in real life, they cannot handle it. They cannot handle the fact that it's not just on TikTok anymore, it's on Instagram, and it's also happening in real life to the extreme of being like, well, this is a wrong.
You can't just run away from it.
Yeah,
this is not going to go away.
Yes, they can't just run away from it anymore, and they're going to have to face up to the fact that they're wrong on this app, and that it's now going to start to affect their living situation, and they're going to have to either just run and hide at this point, but they're not going to.
Mm-hmm. No, they won't. And this is the thing. I think this is what's happened too often with Orion, is Orion has escaped consequences far too often. He has been able to manipulate the situation. He's been able to get away with things that honestly he shouldn't have been able to get away with. He's been skating by on the line between legal and illegal, and I think that's always been his thing. So suddenly now it's like everything he's done, while he avoided consequences as and when he did them, now it's starting to crumble around him. Now the consequences are starting to just squeeze down on him a little bit, and he doesn't know what to do. He has no idea how to take accountability. Nobody's ever taught him. But at 21 years old, you should know how to take accountability. You know the difference between right and wrong. There's no reason he wouldn't understand what he's doing is right or wrong. You know, everybody knows. It doesn't matter what you're diagnosed with. Everybody knows that you shouldn't do certain things on live, right? Especially things involving SH, right? You know not to lie about SA and things like that. And these are just things that have been founded, by the way. You know, I won't go into all the stuff that is, he said, she said. He cannot escape, and he will try. I guarantee you, when he comes back, I think he'll be back on the 9th when his TikTok account is unbanned. I think he will do the usual. I'm just here to sing. I'm not talking about any of it. Not because he doesn't want to talk about it, but because he doesn't want other people to call him out. And that's the only thing I will say. The only thing I will ever say to people to do with that situation is do not let him forget what he did and how many people he affected.
Well, exactly.
Nonsense.
Well, on that note, I am struggling to keep my eyelids open.
Oh, darling, thank you for having us. I keep forgetting there's a time difference. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Just told me to shut my app.
I've got insomnia, so I can usually stay up late anyway. I'm ill at the same time. I've got
sleep, honey.
So my body is attacking me. I wish you all good night or good morning, wherever you are from. And I will speak to you all tomorrow.
Bye,